Alex Cohen. He calls games for the Cubs, Marquee Sports Network. He was with us 2 weeks ago. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. The Padres winning continues. It's like this magical April ride that has them off to a 14-3 start. You kind of want to pinch yourself, Jim, but you don't, but you want it to continue. Like, there have been so many reasons to be like, well, is today the day that the luck's going to run out? Like, today would be a good example, actually. Randy Vasquez opposite Shota Imanaga, but 2 home runs last night from Fernando Tatis Jr. An 11-0 start at home, something that has been done like 5 times since 1900 around Major League Baseball. It's like, wake me when this ends, but I hope it never ends because it's been an incredible start to the year for the San Diego Padres.
We need to start here, John, not with last night, but with what just happened on your phone. So for the last, April? For the last 6 months,
there's been a new app.
There's been a new update to the iHeart Radio app, which is presets.
Right.
And if you don't have San Diego Sports 760 in your presets right now, what are you doing? Put us in your presets as your number one, and you'll have us on the go at your convenience anytime you want. So your phone got a push notification at 2:00 to listen to our show,
which is the first time it's ever happened. I've had the iHeart app for 10 years.
Now, I've been doing push notifications for the show, so I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
In your phone, you opened it, and what did you see?
I now have, on the bottom of my app, I'm showing it on YouTube, I now have the option to put presets on my app, and now I have San Diego Sports 760. So for our listeners, if you haven't done it, it couldn't be easier. Yes, it took me a half a year because for whatever reason I didn't have access to it.
Yeah.
If you can open the App Store, download the iHeartRadio app, and then put San Diego Sports 760 as your number one preset, we truly appreciate that. And there's no better time than now with everything that's going on in San Diego sports, specifically with the Padres and this start. But put San Diego Sports 760 in your presets, put Jon and Jim in your presets. It feels good to now have it. I feel like I'm in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Like when everyone has an iPhone and you have an Android.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Or when everyone has a Mac and you have a PC. Or exactly. God.
So welcome. Congratulations,
good, man.
You're part of the preset community now.
It feels good. And again, like everything going on right now, I think this is a decent jumping off point. Like, you know us, like we've been critical over the years. We're fair, right? We really are. We keep it between the white lines, but we see it and say it how it is. You can't criticize this. You have to enjoy this. You've been making this point. This has to be enjoyed. You could wait a century to have a start like this across Major League Baseball. Now, they've equaled the 98 Padres. They can surpass the 98 Padres for the best start in franchise history with a win tonight. I don't think it's easy tonight, Imanaga Vasquez, but then again, they're 11-0 at home, and they'll play in front of 45,000 people. But I am on your bandwagon, which is just like, let's enjoy this, and let's see where this all takes us over the next day, week, month, season.
No, World Series or bust.
I'm kidding. But it kind of every day they do this, Jim. Don't you agree? Eventually, we're going to get there because if they get to 26-9, you said this. If they get to 30-10, what are you going to say? Well, it was a nice year. They lost in the DS. Is that a nice year when you start 30-10?
Yeah, this start is literally a dream start for the Padres. You could not have asked for anything better. And if you did ask for anything better, then you have some crazy expectations for your favorite sports team. 14-3, that's not a small sample size. Any team in baseball would die to have a 14-3 stretch at any time in their season, let alone the start of their season. And what the Padres done? They have from day one been the best team in baseball. From day one, they have done all the little things right. From day one, best pitching staff, one of the best offenses in baseball. You have Fernando Tatis Jr. playing at an MVP level. They are not just beating teams, they are crushing teams. And last night was a perfect example of that, where, they go down 3-1. Game wasn't even close to over. They had no worry in that dugout, and they end up winning 10-4. 2 home runs from Toddy, a home run from Luis Ariz, just pouring it on, taking advantage of that bad Cubs bullpen. And they are playing at another level right now that we haven't seen from this team to start a season since 1998.
we've watched every single game by and large of Fernando Tatis Jr.'s career. And that's not just me saying it. That's not cliche. Like, that's a factual statement, right? I've seen every single time this guy has played for 7 seasons since he was a young kid. He's now 26. And he's had some amazing stretches, Jim, and he's in another one right now. The difference between any previous stretch and today is today he has something to do he's never done before, which is stay on a field for a season. Because if he does it, and I made this point on a wrap-up show last night, if he does it, there is no scenario with health where he does not hit 40 home runs and where he is not a legitimate MVP candidate this year for the Padres. Now, the caveat is his health. It's been a huge issue for him in his career, but he is brilliant right now. He is out of his mind. This is on the heels of tweaking a shoulder and missing a game, and what he's done since the quote-unquote return. I mean, he missed 1 game, but since that shoulder tweak, he's hit 4 home runs. He's running. His fielding's been ridiculous. It always has been. Platinum Award winner. Mm-hmm. And the power numbers are right where they were in 2021, maybe a tick above where he was in 2021. And it is an absolute joy to watch. He may be this year, again, with health. He may be this year baseball's best. He may be baseball's best player.
Who's the best player right now?
It's right there. I'd have to look at all the players, but he's right there.
I would say he's the best right now.
Who else could we consider in this exact moment?
In this exact moment?
Yeah.
Aaron Judge.
That's a great one.
That's kind of the only one I can think of.
And Ohtani, just because of where he started 2025 from coming off 2024.
But I understand that.
Yep.
But like at this very moment,
You're right.
Tatis is doing Tatis-like things.
You're right. I think Judge is the same player right now. Is he not? We're looking at the numbers. He's the same player.
367, 6 home runs, 20 RBI.
Yep.
Tatis hitting, around that same average, 6 home runs, over 1,000 OPS. He's playing Gold Glove defense in right field. They can do no wrong right now. They can do no wrong. Everything's going right for them. They are, but they're also taking advantage. They're not just getting lucky. They're capitalizing on other teams' mistakes, and they're making them pay for it in a big way with like avalanche innings. Like last night when that ball just drops in between the third baseman, shortstop, and left fielder. And what happens? They ended up tying the game that inning. It is just so fun to watch. And I honestly, did not think that ballpark could fit 47,000 people on a Monday night in April.
It's amazing. I mean, you said it last night because I was kind of making the point, and you've heard me say it repeatedly now for years on end, that the Padres have as good of a fan base as there is in the sport. And then you definitively said, and I kind of agree with that. I was like, well, is it the best? It's right there. And I'm like arguing, is it the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Phillies or the Braves or the Dodgers or the Padres? And, at the end of the day, you could just say that the Padres right now, nobody's playing in front of 47,000 on a Monday night. Let me put this in perspective. Now, weather and the Twins hosted the Mets last night. That's not some awful opponent to be hosting, right? The Twins are hosting Juan Soto and the Mets with that high spending payroll, right?
Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso.
So it's a 48-degree night, but it's Minneapolis in April. And they play the game. I think there was a little bit of weather, but it's a 48-degree night. They announced 10,000 at Target Field, which is a newer stadium than Petco Park. They announced 10,000 for the open. It's the lowest attendance in the history of Target Field.
10,000.
And that's Twins Mets 2 weeks into the year. And then you look here, and we got a fiesta going on from 2 hours before first pitch until 30 minutes after the game is over. It's like a celebration of baseball going on at Petco Park. So there's 2 sides to this. And we've seen Petco Park with 13,000 people in it. That's not this. That's not the 2020 San Diego Padres. And hopefully it won't be again for a long, long time.
Also, with everything we just said, how great they are playing, this point still stands. 1 foot in front of the other. Don't take this as like they're going to win the World Series. They still have a long season remaining.
What are you talking about?
There's going to be ups and downs. Yeah, well, who cares? Yeah,
what are you talking about? I thought they'd won the World Series.
Yeah, booked the parade on Market Street already. What are we doing here?
Right.
There's a long season left. A lot of season left, excuse me. But enjoy what is happening with this team right now, because frankly, we haven't seen it around here since 1998, the start of a season when the Padres went 14-3 to start their season in 98. This team is 14-3. The one thing that this team's done that team hasn't done literally is that they're undefeated at home so far.
Yep.
11-0, which is, I mean, mind-boggling, but it just proves that Petco right now is turned into, and even the last 2 months of last year, Petco has turned into a real home field advantage. And it's because of you guys out there. It's because of the fans. The fans are making Petco, really hard for opponents to play at, because they know if there's a moment in that game that they mess up, that crowd is going to get on you, and it turns into like an avalanche against them, where you look up, they were up by a couple runs, now they're down by 5. You're like, what happened?
To that point, I think it's been a great home field advantage since they reopened the ballpark post-COVID. Like the crowds have been unbelievable post-COVID.
Yeah.
The thing is, now the Padres are taking advantage of the home field advantage. They didn't always take advantage of having 40,000 people in the building. 2023, 40,000 people every night.
The start of last year, by the way.
Yeah, they were under 500 until July last year.
They did not play good baseball at home at the start of last season.
Exactly.
They kicked it into gear in the last 2 months, where they were pretty unstoppable at Petco.
Or just in general, because we said it last night. I think, what are they now? Because they finished last year 43-19, and they're now 14-3. So they're now 57-22.
57-22
in their last 79 games. That's less than a half a season. They're on pace for 116 wins. And that's 79 games. That's not 10 games. 10 games is like, okay, right. That's 79 games. Tonight, the Padres can do something that's only been done 3 times in baseball history. We'll tell you what that is on the other side. In addition, Fernando Tatis Jr. committing to the WBC. Good idea, right? That's next, Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We do have some breaking Aztec news. They've added in the transfer portal. We'll get more into that later this hour. San Jose State transfer guard Latrell Davis, he torched the Aztecs this year. He was 10 for 18 from three against the Aztecs. He's a brilliant three-point shooter, Jim. He shot 38.3% for the season from beyond the arc. He's an England native. He has committed to San Diego State via the transfer portal. Remember, we already found out that they've retained Magoon Gua. They've added to this roster. They added a point guard with the third most assists per game in the nation last year. Brian Dutcher and his staff doing work right now, putting together their roster for next year and beyond.
That is exciting news.
That's really exciting news. I mean, you just added what's this? Like buckets. Like the guy flat out scores. I saw it firsthand against the Aztecs. And I mean, they had San Diego State beat twice. At Viejas, they were up 17, right? And then remember, it was at halftime, San Jose State led by 17.
Yeah, this kid, he torched the Aztecs this year. So that's a big get. We'll get into more about that later in this hour. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned
for that. Stay tuned.
All right.
For that.
Back to the Padres. We'll get to Latrell Davis coming up this hour as we get more information. So since 1900, like this is a while, right? 1900. Does anyone remember 1900?
That's a long time ago.
We've done this before. Were the Wright brothers flying planes? I think they just started doing that. Like it was you would take trains from Chicago to the Rose Bowl for the Rose Bowl in 1900, right?
Right. Yes.
Because it's been a while.
Did they have iPhones back then?
They didn't, but they had Android.
Okay.
If the Padres win tonight, it is an if against Shota Imanaga and the Cubs, who are good with Randy Vasquez.
1903.
1903. They didn't even have planes, Jim. They had birds, but no planes. Like birds existed.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. The Padres, if they win tonight, will be the fourth team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home. End of sentence.
Wait. Say that again.
If they win tonight, the Padres will be the fourth team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home.
Okay.
Now, Tampa was 14-0 in 2023. That's the best ever.
And they did not make it to the World Series that year or win the World Series, obviously.
Correct. As we've said, long season. There was a Giants team before they moved to San Francisco in 1907 that forfeited their first game because they threw snowballs on the field at the Polo Grounds in New York, that then won 15 straight after the forfeit.
Did they win the World Series back then? That is even
such a good
Series?
Question, dude. No, because didn't the Cubs win the World Series in back-to-back years in 1907 and 1908?
Oh, they did, yeah.
How we know that is amazing.
Well, because that was like
because we know that.
1907
New York Giants. To your point, they only went 82-71 and finished in fourth place and started 15-0 at home after throwing snowballs on the field in fourth inning. Anyway, this is rarefied air.
It is rarefied air, but it also shows you the teams that you mentioned there that had insane starts to their seasons at home aren't like the 98 Yankees or the 2024 Dodgers or the name another team, the Atlanta Braves of the 90s or the A's of the 80s. Like it wasn't, a juggernaut list of teams.
Correct.
Which brings us back to it is a long season, very long season. Now, I'm not poo-pooing their 14-3 start like at all.
No, I get your point.
But I am saying it is hard, and I get it because I, tend to go there as well. Even after last night, I'm like, this team's won the World Series. Like, this is the greatest team ever because they just feel unstoppable. And then you realize, oh, it's game 17.
Yeah, I'm trying to equate it, Jim, because like in the NBA, you don't start 20-1 and not have a good finish. Those teams that win 60 games win 60 games. Like Oklahoma City, I bet they got off to a good start. Guess what? They're awesome. Cleveland, I bet they got off to a good start this year. Guess what? They had a great year. Baseball's not necessarily like that. Football's not like that. There's teams that start 4-0 that go 7-9 or whatever,
all the
right?
Time.
So, and this ain't 4-0. 4-0 is a quarter of a football season. We haven't played a quarter of a baseball season here. They've just played over 10%. Mm-hmm. So you're right. Like some of it you want to believe in, like it's real and you could touch it and it's tangible, but you don't know what's a mirage when you're just 17 games into a season.
It doesn't feel that way. It really
Right.
doesn't. If this feels real, this feels
I
like
agree.
you know, when you watch it, it's not fool's gold. It just doesn't feel that way. This feels like something that can be sustainable. For how long they can play at this level, I have no idea, but can continue to ride that wave and see what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at the end of the month, who says they couldn't be 26-7 or something crazy like that? It's a possibility. See how long you could take it here. Because if they did get out to a crazy start like that, man, do they have a bunch of leeway and a bunch of wiggle room. You know, you lose 2 in a row, it's not the end of the world. Right. So the more wins they can just tack on, the better for the rest of this season. Would I prefer them obviously to be playing like this at the end of the year? Like, yeah, that's what you always prefer. You always prefer to play your best baseball at the end of the season.
And they did.
They did last year, and look what happened.
And even that wasn't necessarily good enough,
right?
Considering the circumstances.
I do believe if they, you know, have a good year once you get to you know, October, if they get there and they're relatively healthy, even if they say finish the season like 10-10, I'm not going to feel too worried about it.
It'll be interesting. I mean, that's a little bit of what the Dodgers did over years, where they would win 100 games, but they didn't maybe play their best in September. And then the concern was always, well, are you trending in the right direction? Were you fighting to get in? Are you ready for a playoff series? Can you deal with a week off? Again, we're looking way down.
Probably too far ahead.
The pipe. I'll tell you right now, Jim, if this team were to win 100 games, the most in franchise history, but finish 10-10, I know you and I will have concerns about it.
We'll be like, well, are they playing there?
Like what happened to that team we saw in April and May?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that. And by the way, it won't just be us. The fans will be saying that. If they actually did do that, they won 100 games, but finished 10-10.
And another thing, too, they're not in like the Central Division.
Exactly. There's no guarantees here.
They are in the best division in baseball as of right now. Giants, they continue to stay hot. Dodgers are the Dodgers, even though they aren't playing like you would expect them to play after the offseason they just had. But the adage they're probably saying up in LA is, yeah, it's early, we'll be fine. Just don't have major injuries and we'll be fine. Giants were probably like, whoa, same attitude as here in San Diego.
I mean,
ride the wave.
Terrific start.
Amazing start.
They've done most of it on the road. You bring up a really good point. Whether it's the Dodgers, we know they'll be there.
Yeah.
The Giants, who we said heading into the year could be good. Arizona was expected to be good heading into the year. Like this is going to play out over a much longer period of time than 17 games.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. All right, let's catch up with Alan Sliwa on the Padres, on the play-in tournament, on the Lakers in the postseason, and more. Alan Sliwa, friend of the show. On the other side, we have the latest on the health of Jackson Merrill. WBC is coming in 2026. What's the latest with Fernando Tatis Jr. with the WBC next year? Tons to get to. It's Jon and Jim.
This update is brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass. We'll start with the Padres. They have matched the franchise record to the start of their season, beating the Cubs last night. They're 14-3 on the year. They're 11-0 at home. They take on the Cubs tonight, game 2 of their 3-game series, 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. NBA play-in tournament gets underway tonight. First up, Hawks and Magic at 4:30, followed by the Warriors and Grizzlies at 7 p.m. And we have breaking news with the San Diego State Aztecs. San Jose State guard Latrell Davis has announced he has committed to San Diego State. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. One pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way to explore arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
All right, there's a lot to get into with Alan Sliwa, who has done just terrific work, by the way. Alan, the work you're doing right now with your show on YouTube is terrific. So we appreciate you taking time for us right now on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. There's so much to get into because you're a lifelong Padres fan and you cover the Lakers, and the play-in tournament is going to get underway tonight. But let's just start with these Padres. I mean, can you believe this, having lived through all of this? Again, there's been some good years here recently, but this start is truly unbelievable, isn't it?
I'm just kind of pretending like it's not happening. I'm not not here to jinx anything. I just, we'll just take it day by day, pretend like this is just normal and this is how it's supposed to be. But no, it's been fantastic. And I think, listen, are they a 14-3? Obviously, that's not going to be their pace the rest of the way, but build as much equity as you can. Make some of these guys within that ball club obviously believe that whatever happened in the offseason, okay, put that to the side. The year they had last year, where you can say took everybody by surprise to an extent, but they were phenomenal. They were a really good team. You love the work that the manager did. You love the chemistry that they built. You love what they've done over the last 5 years in San Diego. Take it for what it is. It's been an incredible start, and hopefully just that momentum they can keep riding some of that momentum.
At what point as a fan, Alan, do you start to have your mind wander to like expectation of, man, if they don't make the, NLCS, like I'm going to be upset about this. Like where do you have, as a fan, where is that mark for you?
Honestly, I think just baseball, for it being so unpredictable, and you look at how tough this division is that the Padres are in, I have kind of the mindset of like, look, if you put yourself in a spot where you're back in the postseason again, you feel like you have the right guys healthy at the right time. You feel like the right amount of starters to compete against any of the teams out there. I know what you're saying about expectations, but doesn't so much of this just depend? All right, who's the matchup when you're in the playoffs? Are you healthy enough? Is the bullpen still the way it was in the beginning of the season? So I think just getting in the mindset of, hey, the Padres are in the mix every single year. Is there heartbreak that comes with it? Sure. But you know what? Wouldn't you rather have that type of emotion than no emotion at all? So stay in the mix. And I think it's almost becoming, it's fun watching some of these. And I know you guys post these when you guys are at games, but the environment at Petco, like there's a lot more that goes into it than just, did they win or did they not? It's, are you creating something that is prolonged success rather than, hey, we want a Hail Mary shot and then hopefully it happens. That's not a good long-term game plan.
It's well said. And again, 47,000 people last night on a Monday night is just incredible, and speaks to much more than actually just their 14-3 start.
My theory is it's because of the banana bread pudding, Alan.
Yeah, and then maybe did they have a giveaway last night?
And they had a Aloha shirt night.
Yeah. My theory is just people have fallen in love with the Padres downtown at Petco Park. They've really marketed the team well, and it goes well beyond
banana bread pudding.
When
you get to a game, Alan, trust me, get the banana bread pudding, Seaside
Market, first base side.
Oh, dude,
it's worth
game
it.
changer.
I'm sold.
Yeah, it's only like $8.
Yeah.
Alan Sliwa with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Speaking of a day at a time, I feel like everyone with the Lakers wants to put them in like a Western Conference final or talk about possible matchups in an NBA Finals. Let's start with how they match up with Minnesota. Like, what is this series going to look like in the first round of the Western Conference.
I am with you on that. I think there's a lot of just everybody kind of jumping ahead and just assuming that this team is already in the Western Conference Finals. Minnesota's a tough matchup. Like if you actually look at it statistically of how the teams compare, Minnesota actually, from a team perspective, an overall net offensive rating, net defensive rating. I'm not going to bore you guys with it, but they're top 10 in both categories. Lakers are not. Minnesota can be a headache. Here's the problem with Minnesota. I really didn't like when they traded Karl-Anthony Towns. Didn't make sense to me. And I think it puts so much pressure on Anthony Edwards to be the guy every single night. He's only 23 years old. I don't think that's a good strategy. I think the problem with Minnesota, they have some areas where they can hurt the Lakers. They got some size. They got guys that can rebound. They got incredible depth. They don't have Luka and LeBron. And in the playoffs, when you're in a 7-game set, and now all of a sudden you're not too worried about, hey, am I going to be tired on the second of a back-to-back? Travel is going to be a part of this, all that stuff. This is where I think teams like the Lakers are better in the playoffs than they are in the regular season. 5 minutes left to go in a game, if it's a tight game, and they want to go to Anthony Edwards every single time. You got LeBron and Luka that can dissect the game better than, two of the best players in the entire NBA, just from an IQ perspective. I think Lakers will win this series, but I think it will be tougher than people think. And I think Minnesota made his mistake in the offseason by getting rid of really who was their other star. I don't like the idea of getting rid of a star for 2 role players, and that's what they did.
What concerns you the most about this Lakers team to make a run here to the finals?
I think the questions just got to continue to come up. I mean, at some point, you're just going to assume they're too small. At some point, you're going to assume that you need a little bit more size. I think that's the area that's one of the areas. The other part of it, too, I would say is when they're at their best, they're getting stops, they're playing defense. They have the ability to kind of combat the size they don't have because they got a lot of guys that are between, let's call it 6'6" and 6'9". And okay, maybe some of these guys aren't tall, but you're not pushing around LeBron or Dorian Finney-Smith or Jared Vanderbilt or Rui Hachimura. So they got dudes. I don't want to make it sound like these guys are all point guards or anything like that. But my concern is when they become more offensive oriented, I think that's when they're most vulnerable. When they are, hey, our foundation is defense and offense just comes, I think that's when they're most dangerous. So if they're having games where they're giving up 125, they're not going to win those games. But if it's a kind of a dogfight, and in the last couple of minutes, you have some of the best players in the league that are representing the Lakers, I think that's when they're most dangerous.
Alan Sliwa with us right now, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. 2-part question. Are you a fan of the play-in tournament? Not that it matters. It's been here. And secondly, who wins these games tonight? Warriors at home against the Grizzlies, Magic at home against the Hawks.
So I think the play-in tournament, the best way I can describe it, whether we are a fan of it or not, it's clearly worked. It's garnered interest. It gave, a week of basketball where all of a sudden this week, while everyone else is preparing for the playoffs, if you're in the top 6, you get these just additional games that are, kind of believe it or not, we're all looking at more of like the bottom of the standings or kind of that middle to the bottom of the standings. Who really cares in any sport for any of that? And the NBA has kind of found a way to make something out of nothing. It's like you're putting these ingredients together and you're like, I don't think this is that good of a dish, but people are eating it. So I might as well just serve it out there. And I think from that perspective, they were smart about it. Plus you got some stars, Steph Curry, John Morant, Trae Young. You get to kind of showcase some of these players. So I think it's smart what they did. Do I care for it? Not really, but do I catch myself tonight probably watching them? Yeah, I'll probably be watching the games. In regards to who wins, I like Orlando over Atlanta. I actually thought Orlando, and I know there's not everybody is sitting here watching Magic games, but I thought they had, before they got injured, they were a pretty good team early in the season. They have talent. They have young players. I think they're kind of exciting to watch. The Lakers had some issues with them in the games that they played them. So I think I like Orlando over Atlanta. And then the Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies, man, I don't know what the Warriors did to themselves, but you want to talk about kind of screwing themselves over this last week, the loss against the San Antonio Spurs. the game against the Clippers. Then you got a Memphis team here that fired their coach. The Ja Morant and kind of the chemistry of that team always seems off. I'll take the Warriors, but really unimpressed with how both of those teams finished the season.
Yeah, as a Warrior fan myself, it's a very frustrating watch the last couple of games here for this team. Tell me if you agree with this new, I guess, play-in tournament setup. We talked about it yesterday on the show. The 1 through 7 seeds, they're in. Have the 9 play the 10, and then they await the 8 seed, and it's a back-to-back. So the 9 has to win, or the 10 has to win 2 games on back-to-back nights while the 8 seed's waiting on like a Wednesday or whatever. What do you think of that?
I'm okay with it. I got no problem with it because I think you're still playing the games. There's still games going on. I think it's, kind of absurd to see some of the records of these 9 and 10 seeds and then see that they're still in the mix for it.
Right.
Clearly, the NBA doesn't care. They're just like, yeah, sounds good. We'll just take the revenue and slap a sponsor on it and run with it. I don't mind tweaking the play-in. I think, and by the way, rewarding 1 through 7, I'm okay with that. And if you got this just kind of goofy little wild card for the number 8 spot, you're either going to lose against the Thunder or you're going to lose against the Cavs. It's like, however you want to put that. I'm okay with that. Probably too much of a big deal, or maybe 2 teams from each side is unnecessary. I'm okay with 1, and then you grab one of those other teams that will eventually be a lottery team.
What about like a ladder tournament? So like the Wizards play the Hornets, and then the winner gets the Sixers, and the winner gets the Nets, and the winner gets the Raptors, like a college basketball tournament. Alan,
I want to see.
Yeah, you want to see them all?
A best of 7 play-in tournament.
There we go.
Best of 7.
I love
just
that.
Add as many games as possible.
I love it. Let's play until October. Let's just play for 365 days a year in the NBA. Alan, always appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping on with us, and we'll do it again soon, all right?
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it, guys.
Alan Sliwa. We've got the latest on Jackson Merrill, plus on San Diego State's pickup here in the transfer portal of Latrell Davis, who really played well against the Aztecs this year at San Jose State. That's all ahead here, Jon and Jim. right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. A reminder, San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances to win $1,000 every weekday with the Bonus Bucks giveaway. That's every hour, 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. We have more on San Diego State's pickup of Latrell Davis, a San Jose State guard. We'll have that for you coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. The latest on Jackson Merrill impacts the Padres lineup tonight because Jason Heyward is in center field, which is like a throwback for the veteran Heyward. You've got a right-heavy lineup against the left-hander in Shota Imanaga. Oscar Gonzalez is in left field. We can run through the lineup if you want, Jim. But again, Jason Heyward, you got Jackson Merrill out. We've got the latest here on Merrill. It does not sound as if, we've had Kevin tell us this each of the last 2 times he was with us, it doesn't sound as if Merrill's coming off the IL when eligible to come off the IL when the Padres start that road trip in Houston.
Yeah, Kevin is reporting today that Jackson Merrill hasn't even started to jog yet. He says with Merrill sidelined with his right hamstring strain, he's eligible to come off the IL on Friday. He said this isn't happening. He hasn't even begun to jog. That is expected to commence the next day or 2.
Okay.
Merrill will then need at least a few days to progress to running and then sprinting and then being able to change directions, which makes sense. You don't want to rush back a hammy. You never want to rush back a hamstring.
Right.
And it's nice that they're, playing good baseball while he's out, because then they can, I'm not going to say slow play this injury, but they're not saying, all right, we need him back and we're trying to force his way back. And I don't think they would do that in the first place, even if they were losing games without Merrill. But still, from a fan's perspective, if they continue to win games with guys like Jason Heyward out there and Oscar Gonzalez and Tyler Wade playing in the outfield, take your time, Jackson.
That's exactly right.
Get healthy, bro.
That's exactly right. And you look at this lineup where you put Heyward in center and you put Gonzalez in left. And again, against a really good lefty in Imanaga, they just load up right-handed bats. There's just 2 lefties in this lineup. Luis Ariz, who has to be in the lineup because of the way he hits, and then Jason Heyward, who's in center field. But, I mean, with Tatis, I don't care who's on the mound. Like, I believe that every time Tatis is in the batter's box, he's capable of doing something special. And when I see Tatis, Ariz, Machado at the top of a lineup, even with Merrill out, it looks pretty good to me. And then these others that we always talk about. First of all, Bogaerts has been very just solid, okay? Mm-hmm. But then from Oscar Gonzalez to, I get it, Yuli Gurriel hasn't really hit, but when he has hit, he's had a big hit or 2. Ned Iglesias has been really good. Hayward's come to life. Martin Maldonado's been fine as their catcher. So, I mean, they're getting production from players you weren't expecting them to get production from.
Yeah, their lineup versus a lefty is, there's things in there that you are hoping, pan out.
Yeah, it doesn't jump off the page automatically.
A lot to be desired.
Yeah,
with the lineup, because Gavin Sheets, he's not in the lineup, and he's a big part of the puzzle. You're already missing Jackson Merrill. He's out of this lineup, and give me the lineup again, John.
I mean, and I'm with you, but on Sheets, we said this. Keep doing what you're doing. You don't force him into a lineup. No. It's Tatis, Ariz, Machado, Bogaerts, Gonzalez, Gurriel, Iglesias, Heyward, Maldonado.
Okay. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're winning with this lineup, these types of lineups. So just continue to try to ride this wave. I do think, side note, pretty cool thing that Jason Heyward is starting tonight, because we all know what tonight is. It's Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah.
And Jason Heyward, there was a video that the Padres posted about Jason Heyward on Jackie Robinson Day. I think he visited a museum, I want to say. But I think it's pretty cool that, Jason Heyward's getting a start tonight on Jackie Robinson Day. And we'll get into more on the importance of Jackie Robinson Day later in the show. But, that's not a side note. It is what today is about in baseball.
Well, especially in, to go full circle with that, is that there aren't near as many African-American players in the sport as there were 50 years ago.
Exactly.
There was a time when, and someone can fact check me on this, I would say 1 in 3 major leaguers were African-American. And that is not the case in Major League Baseball. Now it's become a much more global game, right? You have the Latin influence, you have the Asian influence in the game. but the makeup of rosters has changed entirely over the last 50 years. So it's not what it was in the 1970s anymore. Jackie Robinson, we'll hear from Tim Kirkjian coming up. It is such a monumental, not just baseball day in American sports.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so
huge.
yes, have the national pastimes changed? Of course they have.
Mm-hmm.
Since Jackie broke in and broke the color barrier, of course sports have changed. The NFL has far surpassed Major League Baseball since Jackie broke into the major leagues, whenever it was, right? Forever ago. But that doesn't change the influence he had, not just on baseball, but on sport, because there were color barriers being broken across sports because of what Jackie Robinson meant to the game. I'm with you on Jason Hayward. I'm glad you mentioned it. He has been outspoken about the importance of this day. Mm-hmm. It's something that sometimes we completely forget about. We go through our days. We didn't live through Jackie Robinson breaking into the major leagues. No. None of our listeners did. It's been a long time since that happened. But you can't take something like that for granted. It had a massive impact on American sports and American culture, and absolutely should be celebrated on a day like today.
Yeah, one of the most important, if not the most important, athletes of not only our lifetime, but ever.
Yeah.
Right. Like, he is somebody that paved the way in sport for African Americans and broke the color barrier and became, a vital piece in not only just sports history, but just history in general. Jackie Robinson Day is such a huge day in baseball. Everybody obviously wears the number 42, which I think is awesome.
Yep.
And this day can't be, I guess, not diminished, but just dismissed as it's just Jackie Robinson Day. Like, no, it's a huge day in baseball and sport in general.
Less than 6% of major league players are black. And at one point it was in the 30s in the 1970s. Now less than 6% of players. I think 59 players on opening day rosters, less than 2 per team. Less than 2 per team.
Because baseball now is more of a global sport.
Well, that's the thing. I do think, yes, some of it has to do with, well, A, it has to do with the popularity of football and basketball in America, which has changed over the last 50 years. And B, has to do with the global influence of the sport, to your point, as well. But it is Jackie Robinson Day. We'll hear from Tim Kirkjian coming up on that. Plus, Fernando Tatis Jr. committing to the World Baseball Classic. We'll give our thoughts on that. And San Diego State adding another big piece in the transfer portal today for 2025 and beyond for Brian Dutcher. Latrell Davis committing from San Jose State. What does that mean for the Aztecs? We'll hear from Tim Kirkjian on Jackie Robinson Day. We'll continue to go over this Padres lineup against the Cubs as we kick off hour number 2. Annie Heilbrunn will join us at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen, TV voice for the Cubs on Marquee Sports Network at 5:30. Hour 2, Jon and Jim comes your way next.
All right, this update is brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass. We'll start with the Padres. They won again last night, improving to 14-3 on the year and 11-0 at home. If they win tonight, they will officially have the best start to their season in franchise history. They've already matched the 98 team, starting 14-3. Game 2 between the Cubs tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. NBA play-in tournament gets underway. It's this afternoon. Hawks and Magic tip off at 4:30, followed by the Warriors and Grizzlies at 7 p.m. And San Jose State guard transfer Latrell Davis has committed to San Diego State. We'll talk about that more coming up this hour on the show. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. One pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way to explore arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
Previously on Jon and Jim.
I know the Cubs took 2 out of 3. I know they played well at Dodger Stadium. I'm just expecting the Padres to continue to do what they've done and find a way to play good baseball here at home and win another series.
When you look at the Cubs this year, offensively, the Cubs are really good. Went up and beat up the Dodgers a bit. Padres pitching staff, one of the best pitching staffs, if not the best pitching staff in baseball, going up against one of the better offenses in baseball to start the season at Petco Park. That's going to be fun to watch.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim, and we've got a chance to win Sesame Place tickets coming up on the show. Annie Heilbrunn, friend of the show.
The friend of the show?
When we were like, oh, Darnay, you're our biggest friend, and then Annie texted us because she was listening. Here's the thing. This will decide who's the biggest fan of the show, because we're going to tell Annie when she's on, you're our favorite. And Darnay probably won't text us because he won't be listening. And if he's not listening, then it's official. Annie is our number 1 friend.
That is correct.
That's our plan. Now, if Darnay's listening right now, he would he can text us and take offense to that.
He can,
but
you have our numbers.
Annie's listein because when we mention Annie on the air, I get a text from Annie.
Now they were like kind of put into the 1A, 1B category as far as like who's the best friend.
That's
of
what
the show.
we said. We're like, hey, is it Darnay? Is it Annie? Yeah. I mean, I think Alan Sliwa historically would be in the conversation. Yeah. He's been with us a ton.
Right.
There's probably 1 or 2 others that have been with us a lot more. I mean, shoot, Mark Ziegler's been with us maybe as much as anyone over the years. Yeah. Kevin, of course.
Now, we don't have group chats with Ziegler or AC.
Or Kevin.
Or
Kevin
Sliwa.
Is AC, you're right.
Yeah, Kevin is AC. And we definitely do not have the types of conversations with those guys like we did with Darnay.
We just bother Darnay throughout the course of the day. We're like, Darnay, did you see this? And it's like something making fun of Darnay.
Oh, yeah, all the time. He's like, stop texting me.
Please.
Like, nope.
I know. I'll like text him during his newscast. It's like 11:20 at night. He's on the air in like 1 minute. I'm like, dude, did you see this tweet from Jim? He's like, I don't care. Anyway, Annie's going to join us at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network. That's the home of the Chicago Cubs on television. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. So we touched on this at the end of the last segment, that it's Jackie Robinson Day. The Padres are trying to get to 12-0 at home. It's going to be another incredible night down there at Petco Park. Can we just hear from Tim Kirkjian on Jackie's impact? Because sometimes, again, this is our point, was like sometimes you get lost in it all. You just kind of assume, it's Jackie Robinson Day. They've been doing it for forever, whatever. It happened a long time ago. No, I mean, this was a long time ago, but its ramifications are far reaching. This is Tim Kirkjian on the importance of Jackie Robinson in the day.
Jackie Robinson, let's be clear, is the most important player in baseball history. I think Babe Ruth is second, but it's not a close second, because what Jackie Robinson did changed the game, and it helped change the country. I'll never forget talking to Frank Robinson about Jackie Robinson, and I said, what kind of impact did he have? And he went on, and he said, what Jackie taught us was the only way to beat the hatred that we heard and felt at that time was to go out there on the field and beat them on the field. That's what Jackie taught us. And Hank Aaron told me, he said, if it weren't for Jackie Robinson, I don't think I would have ever played in the major leagues. Now, it doesn't mean that because Jackie Robinson opened it, it's that Hank Aaron watched this happen and said, well, maybe I can do that someday. He didn't think that. He never thought that until Jackie Robinson came along and broke the color barrier. And also, Jeff, let's not forget what a really good player he was. He wasn't just a trailblazer, okay? He was a great second baseman. He was a great first baseman his first year. And I'm not sure there's ever been a greater athlete to play in the major leagues than Jackie Robinson. When you consider what he did at UCLA as a running back, not good, great. He was a great basketball player. He led the Pac-10 in scoring. He was a tremendous golfer, a great tennis player, and of course, a Hall of Fame baseball player. And Dave Anderson, the great columnist from the New York Times, once told me that Jackie Robinson could beat you in more ways than any player in the history of baseball, given how fast he was, hit the ball out of the ballpark, could do so many things defensively. I mean, he's an underrated defensive second baseman. So let's not ever forget the importance of Jackie Robinson on the game and what a great player he was.
When you think about, baseball history, there's nobody better to explain the history of the sport than Tim Kirchin.
He's pretty good.
He's very, very good. He is somebody that, like I said, when you want to know the history of the sport, if you want a baseball historian to give you everything that you're looking for, look no further than Tim Kirchin, because he explains it. He's so eloquently says what is on his mind, and he just hits right on the head.
How about this? Because we do the deep dive sometimes on like Tony Gwynn's baseball reference page, right? Because it's so gaudy and so special.
It's a fun
There's
look.
a lot of players you could look at throughout the course of baseball history, and people do it with like a Barry Bonds, right? It's like, oh my gosh, look how gaudy this is. If you look at Jackie Robinson, it truly is unbelievable, because to Tim Kirchin's point, it's one thing to break the color barrier. Amazing. It'll be remembered for forever. No matter who did it, it would have been a landmark day in American history. But to be the player that he would become in the major leagues, his career numbers speak for themselves. He is one of the best players ever. Forget about the color barrier. He hit .313 for his career. His career OPS was .887. He struck out 291 times. Listen to this. He played over 1,400 games. I'm trying to compare it to Tony. He played over 1,400 games and struck out in his career 291 times. By comparison, Tony Gwynn played 2,400 games, struck out 434 times. So he was Tony Gwynn-esque in terms of bat, ball, contact hitter, right? Mm-hmm. Again, the numbers are the numbers. There have been great players in the history of the sport, but to do it under those circumstances, you break in the 1940s and you got hate spewed at you left and right, and you go out and put up some of the best numbers in the history of the sport for the next 10 plus years. That's unbelievable, is what it is.
Have you ever seen the movie 42?
You know me, I have not.
I know you're not a movie guy. Trust me.
I need to see it.
Chadwick Boseman, he portrays Jackie so well. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But if you want to watch a movie today, watch 42. It's a fantastic movie. Chadwick Boseman plays Jackie Robinson. It's one of the movies out there that, if you're looking as far as like historical context and you want to learn more about some,
I should see it.
You got to watch this movie. It's a really good watch. Chadwick Boseman's amazing in it. Highly recommend on a day like today. If you're like, I want to watch a movie. What movie do you want to watch? Watch 42.
I'm just trying to imagine a world where you break into the major leagues, you win Rookie of the Year. Okay. And then 2 years later, you're the MVP. Okay. And you're dealing with breaking the color barrier in America.
That's the biggest part of it.
1940s, like all of that. We talked today. Here's a good example. Like today, I think this to myself sometimes. How does LeBron James perform with all the attention and pressure and social media, right? He is a constant lightning rod, is he not? And there's others that the attention is nonstop. He says something. Look at the interaction with Stephen A. Bronny, what he said about politics, right? All of the things that have played out over his career. You can't compare it to Jackie Robinson. This is well before social media and the internet. But Jackie was, but it's sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how does Patrick Mahomes deal with the criticism on PTI? You can't even compare that to what was going on, 100 years ago, or 75 to 100 years ago.
Oh, no comparison. Now,
None.
In the social media world, there's just
that's tough too.
It's tough, but and it feels like it's coming at you from every angle. But back when Jackie broke the color barrier, and like you said, that the hate that was spewed his way, nothing compares to that, and nothing will ever compare to those times in our history going forward. And so it just makes what he accomplished that much more important, and it should never be forgotten. It should never be downplayed. It never should be tried, it never should be something that people try to erase. It is one of the most, if not the most important moments in baseball and sport in general, is Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier.
I agree with you. By the way, his lone AAA season, when he should have been in the major leagues, he hit 350.
Is that good?
In AAA for a full season in Montreal. It is Jackie Robinson Day. It will be celebrated tonight down at Petco Park, where the Padres will try to do something that's rarely been done, either pre-Jackie or post-Jackie, which is start 12-0 at home. They're trying to become the fourth team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home. And again, Annie Heilbrunn at 5 p.m. will join us. Alex Cohen, Cubs TV, will join us coming up at 5:30. On the other side, we still have a couple of minutes here. On the other side, I do want to talk about this commitment San Diego State got today from Latrell Davis. We also need to talk about Fernando Tatis Jr., who has committed, according to Dennis Lin, to Team Dominican in the WBC, a lineup that has just been loaded over the years. Is going to be even more loaded. Remember, he could not play 3 years ago because of the suspension for Team WBC.
Correct.
He is now eligible to play. Did you see their possible lineup today at all on social media?
It was insane.
It's insane because you have like Machado hitting 8th,
right?
Or like 7th. You have Julio Rodriguez. You have Fernando Tatis Jr. It's an embarrassment of riches. And remember, I've been critical because I want to see major league teams perform at a high level. I don't want to see injuries. So that would be my one concern with someone like Tatis. But this thing keeps becoming more credible, this event, with the commitments you're getting from American-born players, what it means to like Team Japan, these Dominican players as well. Like, it's going to be a cool event. It was well done in 2023. I think it has a chance to like one-up itself in 2026 next year.
It was well done in 2023. And the moment that everybody will remember was Ohtani versus Trout in the championship game, 2 outs in the, I want to say top of the 9th inning, right? Because Japan was the home team that day.
I think you're right.
And that was pure theater.
Mm-hmm.
But, and there's a big but, we all remember how 2023 went for the Padres, correct?
Oh, of course.
And we all remember how kind of scattered they were to start spring training in the year. Now, every team had to deal with this. It wasn't just the Padres issue. There were a lot of teams that had to deal with a lot of their players in different, areas of spring training and whatnot. The one thing that 2023 did to the team with, the WBC was it made it really hard for them to gel with so many new pieces coming off of 2022, especially Xander Bogaerts.
And also remember, Yu Darvish threw 1 inning in the WBC. He was late to kind of get into routine once he got back into camp.
And so that was a very wonky spring training, and I'm not going to say it was a trickle-down effect and ruined their season, but it played a factor, and we were right on top of it. That was something that we got flack for, of saying this is not good, and it won't be good for the Padres, especially if you're Yu Darvish. Like we were a big, we were criticizing him a lot, and criticizing just the WBC for Yu Darvish only pitching 1 inning, messing up his spring training, and effectively messing up his entire year. So now you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, Tatis, he's committed. Who's next from the Padres?
It'll be the whole team.
They have,
they're loaded.
Exactly. Bogaerts, Manny, Tatis, Merrill.
I'm all for it.
A lot of players.
I've always said this, and I'll stick by this from 2023. Do you want to see Team USA win, but at the expense of winning as a team? No. Right? Or do you want to see Team USA win at the expense of someone's health? For the Padres, you can't say yes to that. Now, you might want both. I get it. I thought it was well done in 2023. I think it's only getting better, but I'm always cautious because what matters most is the Major League season to me. I think to our listeners, are you sitting around every 3 years waiting for the WBC? Or Or are you sitting around every spring waiting for the Padres? And I think most people are waiting for the Padres over WBC results. Yep. All right, the Aztecs have picked up another huge commitment in men's basketball for Brian Dutcher. Latrell Davis from San Jose State to San Diego State. What's the impact? We'll discuss on the other side. Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. You got to get out there this month, every Monday night this month, smashing Easter eggs all April long. A chance to win big, 10 winners every hour, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Your odds are better than ever. Earn entries all month by playing and get 2 times the entries on Wednesdays with at least $500 cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 cash. It's a promotion you're not going to want to miss.
So it is a Tuesday, Jon. And
right.
Tuesday through Thursday, you got to hit up Loft 94. Join them for their Sunset Trivia every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Compete for prizes at your favorite casino. Plus, enjoy 50% off classic sushi, nigiri, hand rolls, and any of their featured ramen bowls every Tuesday through Thursday, now through May 23rd.
They also have $30,000 hot seats every Tuesday from 5 to 10 p.m. You've got a chance to win $1,000 free play every 10 minutes tonight. Play slots or table games to qualify. Again, it's the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Tomorrow at 6, right here on San Diego Sports 760. It's SDFC Midweek Live. You'll hear from head coach Mikey Varas, as well as interviews with players and coaches to find out the latest club and MLS information, hosted by Darren Smith. SDFC Midweek Live every Wednesday at 6 on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. They got themselves a week, by the way, heading for Charlotte, North Carolina, after spending time in Denver this past weekend. All right, so San Diego State comes off a season in which they were very young, reached the NCAA tournament, and then lost in the first four to North Carolina, right? And there were highs and lows, as we said there would be. We both thought it was impressive for them to reach the NCAA tournament. Did they want to lose their last game by 30 points to UNC? No. But
No.
what they've done...
Tell me what they've done, John.
Since the end of the season, and now you have to say all of this by knocking on all of the wood and having all the grains of salt, because the transfer portal is open.
Oh, it's definitely open.
So that would be like saying, hey, the Padres have the best team heading into the year. Oh, by the way, everyone's a free agent. They could all walk for the next 5 days. Like, you'd be concerned that Tatis was going to walk if everyone was a free agent. But by having Magoon Guath withdraw from the portal, and now today they get this, I guess, under the radar addition, Latrell Davis, who played at San Jose State, under the radar because...
Yeah, how is it under the radar if he
played
torched the Aztecs last year?
He played at San Jose State. It's a little later in the process. It felt as if maybe the roster was near completion without him, right? And he was a 2-year player at San Jose State, but they didn't win at a very high level. But this is a guy that can flat out shoot in Latrell Davis, Jim. He hit 10 threes against the Aztecs in 2 games. He was 10 of 18. He shot 38% from 3. And you start to look at this roster and what it may look like. And again, portal's open. But, man, this is a deep veteran roster potentially heading into 2025-26, which is going to have really high expectations as well.
So I'm just looking up his stats here.
Yep.
All right.
Do you have them?
I do have them, John.
That's good.
If my computer would load. It's always a problem with this thing. The computer's from like the 1900s. I mean, this is ridiculous. So last year, John, he averaged, where is this? 11 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He shot 38% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 45% from the field. 35 games played, 9 starts. I'm just looking here against San Diego State. Yeah, San Diego State, he put up 23 points. Is that right? Yeah, 23 points. Shut up. And then 21 points at San Jose State. So 23 points here in San Diego, 21 points at San Jose State. Guy can score wherever you put him, on the bench, in the starting role. Like, he's just another guy, another option for you to get a bucket when you need it.
Hear me out on the roster. And we don't know if Guath stays in the NBA draft process or returns. We don't know if Miles Byrd stays in the NBA draft process or returns. But allow us to dream for a moment about the possibilities. With Reese Waters returning from injury, and Miles Byrd potentially returning for a 4th year.
Give it to me.
And Magoon Guath returning for a redshirt sophomore year, which would be his 3rd. You have BJ Davis, who had some huge moments a year ago.
Started the season last year. He was fantastic.
You have Taj DeGorville, who was a true freshman last year and played big minutes. You have a combination of Miles Heide and Farrell Compton.
Yeah.
You've added Jeremiah Oden.
Yep.
Right? A wing. You've added Ryan Newman, a point guard that was 3rd in the nation in assists per game last year. You have Latrell Davis, who we're talking about right now from San Jose State. You have Tay Simmons, a 4-star prep player who's going to be a freshman. Oh, by the way, you have Thok Majak, who redshirted that last year, is an inch taller than Magoon Guath.
So where's the Final Four next year?
Right, exactly. What are we booking? Get on the line with Marriott. Thank you. Okay. That's the point. Exactly.
Should we book hotels tonight or tomorrow?
Yesterday we should have done this. You're exactly right. That's exactly. You should be excited if you're an Aztec fan, especially in the portal era where there's been so many people down on the sport, right? Like, oh, it's impossible to keep a roster together, especially outside the Power 4. And I don't know if this is the roster or not. Would we be shocked if there was a change? Of course, there could be a change, especially with the NBA draft and with the portal. But even if there is one change, this looks pretty good to me.
So it's in Indy next year. So I guess we're going to Indianapolis, John.
Let's go. Let's go.
We had Mark Ziegler on 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago.
When Magoon made the shocking announcement that he was going to return to San Diego State if he did not fully declare for the NBA draft.
Right.
And he said, look, I'm an AP voter. The AP poll is the AP poll, whatever. Right. We've seen teams ranked number 1 to start a season and then not even make the tournament. North Carolina did that a couple years ago.
Yep.
But it is an indication to start out just how good people think you are as of, the start of the season. And Mark had him in this top 15. And that was before the addition of Latrell Davis today.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe more. Who knows? So was it before the addition of their newest point guard as well?
I think that might have been the day we had him, or maybe you're right. No, maybe that was the day Magungwa said he was coming back. But that was probably when and because Ryan, not Ryan Newman, Sean Newman, right? I think Sean Newman Jr. Yeah, Sean Newman Jr.
Did he commit before?
I think he might have committed after a conversation with Mark.
Okay, so you've added now 2 players in the portal after we talked to Mark Ziegler a couple of weeks ago when he said to start the season he might have them in his top 15 in the AP poll.
So now I want to see the schedule with like neutral Duke, neutral Carolina, 4 games in No, I'm just kidding. But
rematch with Houston would be nice.
I mean,
Florida take on Florida.
I'll tell you champions. Though, it speaks to the impact. You're right, but the importance of that Players Air event in Vegas, where you get 3 high-profile games that'll allow you to build a resume. Then, if you do have this really good team, now you got a resume to go with the team that can put you in a position come next March.
Oh, and by the way, we
might be getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh, and by the way, you do get a minimum $1 million
for playing
in that tournament. And last year they ended up getting what, 1.2?
1.15 from that event, which is a huge amount for San Diego State. I mean, there's programs out there with like the unlimited money. That's not going to be SDSU. The fact that they're doing this without the $10 million payroll is even more impressive too, especially with a player like Magoon.
Yep.
All right, on the other side, back to Fernando Tatis Jr. committing to the WBC, what that means for the Padres. Also, still to come, Annie Heilbrunn will join us from the UT at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen calls Cubs games on television. He'll join us at 5:30. A lot to get to. We're here until 6. This is Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass. We'll start with the Padres. They have matched the franchise record to start a year at 14-3. If they win tonight, they'll break that mark. They have a game 2 tonight against the Cubs, 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shoto Imanaga for the Cubs. NBA play-in tournament gets underway in an hour from now. Hawks and Magic first up, followed by the Warriors and Grizzlies at 7 p.m. We just talked about it. San Diego State has another transfer. Latrell Davis, formerly of San Jose State, announced today that he is committed to San Diego State. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. One pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way to explore arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
All right, Jon and Jim, your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place coming up next hour. Annie Heilbrunn at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen, Cubs TV at 5:30 to preview Game 2 of the series coming up at 6:40. We did have the highlight of Jim's career last night, Brent.
What?
We had the true highlight of Jim's professional career within the last 24 hours. Now, maybe not, but this is an accomplishment on social media.
Okay.
Jim sent out a tweet or whatever it's called.
That's it, everybody.
And that was it.
That was it.
And it was very catchy. It was a photo of Kawhi at the game, right? Kawhi's at the game with Jamal Franklin, Aztec for life as well, his former teammate. And they put him on the video board at Petco. And he's been in a number of Padres games over the years, right? He's a big supporter of the franchise. So Jim put a photo of Kawhi. And what did the caption say on Twitter?
Is this the biggest smile Kawhi has ever had in his life?
So he's all happy, right? He's grinning.
Like, look at this, Brent. Right?
Yeah, he looks very happy.
Very happy. Front row at a Padres game, Petco Park.
He's got his happy. SD cap. He's got an SD like sweater or like jacket.
Jersey,
yeah, he was into it. And we've seen him every single year for the last 8 or 10 years, maybe
a little
longer.
time off before the playoffs start for him.
Yeah, because it's the playing week and they've played great.
Oh,
and maybe
really
this will be another year they can make a run. He's made runs
They're
before.
my sleeper team.
He's made runs before in the postseason. So he tweets that. And it completely blows up to the point that it has. Just tell us how many likes it has right now.
It has 20,000 likes.
20,000.
But that's not the one where I'm like, whoa.
Okay, what's the one?
What's the one? We are approaching 1 million views.
1 million. More people have seen that tweet than watch like Fox Saturday Baseball.
I'm just happy because there's two types of tweets that blow up. It's the ones that are just like bashing you. You tweet out something stupid and everybody just takes it and runs with it. And like,
you're saying like when people like reply or what's it when you get like ratioed, like this guy's an idiot.
Oh yeah. You get ratioed on social media, or the ones that actually blow up for like, oh, that's funny or that's cool or whatever. I think like the most non-controversial thing ever was this tweet. And I'm glad that in my mentions right now, it is like no controversy. There is nothing in my mentions that is making it like very toxic for me to be on my phone. So I appreciate that.
Here's why, in my opinion, that took off and hit the right tone. Kawhi, as a lot of stars in the NBA are huge national figures, unlike baseball players, right?
He's a fun guy.
And yeah, you hit on the stereotype. So everyone knows who Kawhi Leonard is. And you said, hey, look, he's having the most fun he's ever had with a photo. So like you just hit the right button. You can't do that with a baseball player. I mean, maybe Shohei Ohtani. There could be something that would be like relevant and viral like that because everyone knows who he is. But with the NBA, these players like are all viral. Like Kawhi Leonard can go viral.
Well, what was it? I think it was 2 years ago. Kawhi was at a game and I was at a game the same day Kawhi was. And I posted almost the exact same type of tweet.
Crickets.
No. It actually got picked up by like Bleacher Report and stuff like that. So I was thinking to myself, oh, let's do this again. There we go. There we go.
Dude, I mean, this is how good it is. You got Jim getting tweets with 1 million likes. You got Kawhi Leonard sitting first row. You got the Padres 11-0 at home. I mean, like, you got the laugh. I mean, it's good. Like Jim is giddy over this tweet.
No, I'm giddy over the laugh.
He was happy that day.
I know he
in
was.
Toronto.
That was the biggest laugh that Kawhi's ever had in his life. Was that day in Toronto?
100%. I'll tell you, man. If he can pull off one more like ring, easier said than done. Okay, we get it. If he can pull off one more,
I'd kill the bit.
Then like what else could he possibly do? Like he's going to go down as just a clutch playoff producer with one more. He already is. I mean, what he did with Toronto, what he did with San Antonio. Again, he's never going to be a compiler. He's not going to have the career games or career points, right? He's missed a lot of time. We all get it. With load management, right? But you get one more, easier said than done with the Clippers. But you get one more, I don't know, like defense rest. Like, what else can you say about Kawhi if he gets one more?
Remember when Stephen A. Smith said he was the worst superstar of all time?
That was within the last year.
We were at the a banquet event for the Mesa Foundation that day.
So was it this year with this season, 6 months ago?
Yeah. Now he only played 37 games this year, but he is now healthy. It looks like
that's because he was hurt to start the year.
And if you just look at the box score from Sunday's game against the Warriors, just without looking.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking.
Okay, guess how many minutes Kawhi played. Now it was an overtime game, but guess how many minutes Kawhi played.
Well, now that you say it that way, I'm going to say he played 44 minutes.
47 minutes.
Out of 53. Yeah.
That's
insane.
Right. For a guy that's always injured and the worst superstar of all time and yada, yada. And I'm Stephen A. Smith and I hate Kawhi Leonard. Played 47 minutes on Sunday.
And he's not on
healthy,
social media.
And he's not, And by the way, the Clippers, watch out for the Clippers in the postseason.
They're red hot. How about this? Here's the other part of the narrative. The load management he never plays. Last year, when he was healthy, but then he went into the summer, remember, didn't play for Team USA, and then came out of the fall not playing for the Clippers.
Right.
Last year, and then he was hurt in the postseason again last year. He played 68 regular season games, which is a huge number by today's standards for any player, these veteran players. Like if you looked at Steph Curry last year, I don't think he played 68 games in the NBA. I don't think he did. We've done this.
No, you're right. You're
so,
right.
like, I get it. He hasn't always played full seasons. Fair.
No, actually, you're wrong. He played 74 games last year, 70 games this year.
Whatever. Don't take away my point. But like you look at Kawhi, and yes, load management has been a part of the story. But can I just read the games he's played, even during the load management era? Last year, 68. The year before, 52. He was out all of 2021-22 due to injury. The year before, 52. The year before, 57. The year before, 60. My point is, it's not like he never plays. Yes, he's a poster child for an era where guys play 50 out of 80 or 60 out of 80, but it's not like he's playing 10 out of 80. He was hurt in 2017-18 with the Spurs.
He only played 37 this year.
Right, but that's because, again, I mean, I don't think it's because of load management, because he missed the first half of the year this year. Right? He didn't step on the floor until when this year?
Well, 37 games ago, it looks like.
I don't know exactly when it was, but I mean, that's my point.
Hey, if he ends up looking like he did on Sunday for the postseason, where he was unguardable, he like went through a stretch in that game where he just did not miss. And he's healthy throughout the postseason, and say he does get the Clippers to the NBA Finals. Is anybody going to be bitching and complaining about how he missed the start of the season?
And that's always been my point with Kawhi. People are like, well, he doesn't, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer because he doesn't score a lot of points. He hasn't played a lot of games. Like, yeah, but he wins when it matters. Like Toronto, San Antonio. And I will see Clippers. Yeah. Okay. Could he win more in the postseason in LA? Yes. And does he need to do that probably at some point? Yeah, I would agree with that. And maybe this is the year, maybe it isn't, but it's kind of hard to bet against a healthy Kawhi Leonard.
He's when healthy, easily top 5 player, top 10 player in the league. When healthy. Now it's like the same argument with Tatis. Like when healthy,
right.
Top 5 player in the sport, maybe the best player in the sport. I wouldn't put Kawhi as the best player in the sport. I think Jokic. I don't know. Doncic is a guy that screw it. Doncic, Jokic, Giannis, SGA. Hey, guess what? Steph and LeBron still elite. Anthony Edwards elite. Kawhi, if healthy, elite. So yeah, he's a top 10 player in the league when fully healthy.
I mean, he's got a ring with San Antonio. He's got a ring with Toronto. Now, it's not going to be easy to get a ring with the Clippers. They're the Clippers. Like historically, there are no rings with the Clippers. But if you do that, just like there were historically no rings with the Raptors. So, I mean, you do that, you changing more narratives.
Name me another player if they did accomplish that to win 3 NBA titles with 3 different teams, and also, by the way, have 3 Finals MVPs. I think the only person is LeBron,
and he's been pretty good.
He's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like other than LeBron, name me somebody else that's done that in their career.
Yeah.
3 different teams, 3 Finals MVPs, 3 championships, and winning the first one for Toronto and potentially the Clippers. I mean,
right.
So
are they going to get by the Nuggets who just fired their coach?
I think so.
Okay.
I do. I think Jokic is going to put up his numbers, but I think the Clippers are deeper than the Nuggets. And the way that they've played, I would take the Clippers in that series. I'm telling you, man, watch out for the Clippers. Could be completely wrong, but they're such a deep team. And Ty Lue is a really good head coach. People forget, like he was also a big reason why the Cavs won their first title in the history of that franchise. Now, obviously, LeBron and Kyrie, the biggest reasons, but don't discredit Ty Lue here at all.
You think LeBron played a role?
All right. I don't want to talk about that series.
No, I know you don't. Okay, Tatis commits to the WBC. What that means for the Padres heading into 2026. Plus, we'll get to the wrap. Also, we're giving away Sesame Place tickets, and Annie Heilbrunn joins us at 5 p.m. on Jon and Jim. All right, AM radio keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. Text AM to 52886 now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now and keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rates apply. We'll give away Sesame Place tickets in an hour. We have the wrap coming up. Annie Heilbrunn will join us at 5 p.m. Back to this Tatis news that he will play or is expected to play in the 2026 WBC. What's your overall feeling on just that news? Fernando Tatis Jr., who's missed all this time in his career, is playing some brilliant baseball right now. We have no clue what the next 6 months look like, but he's playing great right now. Are you 100% on board with it? He's a position player, not a pitcher. Are you concerned because it's Tatis? How do you feel about it?
I am actually kind of okay with it right now, just because it's basically a year from now. So I'm not really too concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talk to me closer to the event, and I might change my opinion on it. Especially if in the tournament, you know what happens to him, or he has a slow start to a season, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, if everybody's doing it, then it's okay. It's not just
if everyone's like the parents saying, well, if everyone's jumping off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge, Jim?
No, but
I know.
Not saying that
It's
applies here.
Yeah.
It's different. But if Manny Machado, Aaron Judge, Jackson Merrill, Paul Skeens, Fernando Tatis Jr., Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bobby Witt Jr., Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, right? The best players in the sport are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Xander Bogaerts will be out there as well for his home country. Then Shohei Ohtani, Team Japan. Right.
It's like if everyone's doing it.
Mookie Betts, potentially Freddie Freeman for Team USA. If everybody's doing it, then I hope we get some good games out of it, at least. Because then it will make it more compelling to watch.
I mean, the Team Dominican lineup with the Fernando Tatis Jr. And I mean, it kind of looks like the Padres of 2020 something with like Juan Soto and Tatis and Manny and Julio Rodriguez.
Right.
No, he hasn't been a Padre. I mean, they had an amazing lineup, I think, the last time we did this in 2023. And I don't know when they ultimately lost. But is that compelling? Yeah. I think it's good theater for like the baseball preseason, so to speak. When you have Japan, they put their stars in it. You're right. I think Team USA, the stars are going to commit now that Aaron Judge is in. The Dominican team is going to be absolutely loaded. Now, by the way, this event will not be held in San Diego once again in 2026.
Which is
sites have been announced.
stupid.
Yeah, sites have been announced. San Diego is not included. It's been a while now since we've seen it in San Diego. I forget the year, 17, 18, 19. Going back, maybe before.
No, it was before that because Manny was not on the Padres yet.
Okay, so 16, 17?
16, I think it was.
Yeah, you're going. I don't know the reason or circumstance. They've held it in South Florida. They've held it in some domes.
It's gonna be in LA.
I don't know the sites for 2026.
Probably just because it's location wise, and if it was stadium wise, it would not be at Dodger Stadium. That place sucks. But listen to this potential Team USA WBC lineup.
Give it to me.
Bobby Witt Jr.
He's good.
Gunnar Henderson.
Okay.
Aaron Judge. Bryce Harper. Mike Trout. Kyle Tucker. Mookie Betts. Cal Raleigh. Jackson Merrill. Starting pitcher, Paul Skeens.
Yeah, that's a chance. That plays. Probably.
Shout out Al Scott for putting that out there on social media.
Is Trout like making this team?
If he's healthy.
Yeah. I mean,
he was on last team.
He was.
And
we haven't really seen him since.
Well, he's doing pretty well this year for the Angels, right?
No.
No?
No.
Do you know what his numbers are?
Yes.
What are they?
Bad.
Really?
Yes. He's hitting 196.
Oh, really? He sucks?
No, he's got power numbers.
I didn't know.
But he's hitting 196. He's hit 6 home runs, but he's hitting 196.
So he's washed?
No, I'm just saying that given it, I don't know. No, he'll be on the team. He'll be on Team USA.
That's a pretty good lineup right there.
It's a great lineup.
Paul Skeens is your starter there. Maybe Michael King can make that roster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Dylan Cease could be on that roster.
Just put the Team Padres, Merrill, Cease,
King and Cease might not be on the Padres next year.
Don't say that.
I know. I just got sad.
Here are the sites, by the way, for the WBC. Houston. So the play indoors in Houston.
Oh, great.
Miami, which only draws for something like the WBC.
Dominican for sure.
San Juan in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then Tokyo. So those are the 4 sites. And this starts March 5th next year. So I have no idea what that means for spring training, but it goes from March 5th to March 17th
By the
next
way,
year.
2017 was the year we're thinking of here at Petco Park. That famous catch by Adam Jones off of Manny's bat.
Right.
Up until that point in time was the greatest moment in Petco Park history.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And of course, we now have many more moments to oversee that. But I mean, up until 2021, 2022, that was the best.
That was
moment.
up there. Yeah, you're right. Shoot, we had a
2020.
year, man. We had 2020 where you had the ALCS, where like that was some of the biggest games ever played at Petco Park when the Yankees played the Rays.
But no fans.
I know, but I'm saying these were the winner wins the World Series in 2020 after playing at Petco.
Yeah, that was probably the best moment at Petco Park since up until the Cronenworth base hit in the DS against the Dodgers. And then there were many moments last year that were amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. That is interesting. And I do think it's a miss to not have any games in Southern California for the WBC in 2026. It's not in LA. It's not in San Diego. It's in Houston. Okay.
You had it here in 2017. Why hasn't it been back?
I don't know the answer to it. I really don't.
Is it a scheduling thing?
Oh, you know what? I think I have an answer. Because Miami's inside, Houston's inside, Tokyo's inside. I don't think Puerto Rico's inside.
LA's inside.
But it's not in LA coming up.
It's not Dodger Stadium?
It's not. It's only in Miami, Houston, Puerto Rico.
No games are at Dodger Stadium?
According to Google, there's no games. No. Houston, Miami, Tokyo, and San Juan will be the host sites for the 2026 World Baseball Classic. That's it. No LA. So I wonder if it has to do with the issues with outdoors is what if you have like a rain situation? It'll happen in March in Southern California.
Oh, this is what I saw today. Dodger Stadium will be the baseball venue for the 2028 Olympics. Summer Olympics. Sorry.
Listen, I don't compare. Like if I was going to choose between WBC attendance and Olympic attendance, like Olympic baseball has kind of been irrelevant, has it not? Who plays Olympic baseball?
That's one that's going to be interesting because I don't know who will play that.
Are they going to allow major leaguers to? And now if it's with major leaguers, that's one thing. If it's not major leaguers, are we watching single A players?
Yeah. And during the season too, that's going to be weird.
Are we stopping the season? How is Dodger Stadium hosting baseball for 2 weeks? Are we stopping the season?
I'm sure the Dodgers will be on the road.
Yeah, I guess they'd be on the road for, I think, 2 weeks to hold an entire Olympic baseball event.
Longest road series of the year.
Road trip. Yeah, I don't know. Now, if it has major leaguers, cool. Like Dodger Stadium, you'll be packing.
But I don't know about that. Stopping the season, potentially.
Have they discussed whether that's happening or not?
I haven't really looked too much into it, to be honest with you. My mind's not at the 2028 Summer Olympics right now.
It isn't?
No, it's not.
I love like Olympic sites.
My mind's on can Padres go 15-3 tonight and beat the Cubs.
That would be huge if they could do that. All right. On the other side, we will get to the wrap. Still ahead here today. Your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego, open all week. You can visit sesameplacesandiego.com for more details. Annie Heilbrunn is on the show coming up at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen, friend of mine, not necessarily friend of the show. He interned for me. Marquee Sports Network, Cubs Television. Will join us coming up at 5:30. But Annie at 5, Alex Cohen on this Cubs Padres series at 5:30. Ticket giveaways, the wrap on the other side, hour 3 of Jon and Jim. That's next. Stay with us.
All right, this update is brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass. Padres Cubs game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. NBA play-in tournament gets underway in about a half hour from now. Hawks and Magic first up, followed by Warriors and Grizzlies. In Aztec basketball news, they have landed another transfer, this time Latrell Davis from San Jose State. Last year, he averaged 11 points for the Spartans. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. One pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way to explore the arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
It's Jon and Jim to warm up that drive home.
The Padres, if they win tonight, will be the 4th team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home. End of sentence.
Wait. Say that again.
If they win tonight, the Padres will be the 4th team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home.
Okay.
Now, Tampa was 14-0 in 2023. That's the best ever.
And they did not win the World Series, obviously.
Correct. As we've said,
Yeah.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour 3, Jon and Jim this hour. Your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. Next hour, 5 p.m., Annie Heilbrunn from the UT. She'll join us at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network. He calls Cubs games. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. The Cubs have optioned their third baseman, the prospect Matt Shaw, to AAA. As we get ready for game 2 of that series coming up tonight at 6:40. Padres trying to get to 15-3. That would be the first time in franchise history if they do it. They've never been better than 14-3 or 14-4 through 18 games. If they win here tonight, they'll be 15-3 for the first time in the history of the franchise, which would be a nice start to their year.
Decent start.
Yeah, 15-3 would be nice.
It's not 15-2, but
No, it's not 18-0.
yeah, they lost a couple games, so they had to get, docked a couple points there as far as how good their season has been to start. No, it's been incredible. I mean, this has been so much fun. We live it, breathe it every single day, and it is the talk of the town. We know when there is a team in this town, a professional sports team, that is playing and winning as much as the Padres are, and we have seen it with SDFC, or I've seen it with SDFC firsthand. This city latches on, and they support the hell out of that team. We've just seen it. This is what San Diego is. They support their own. And right now, what the Padres are doing, Padres fans here in San Diego are supporting them and supporting them big time.
Yeah, I would even go probably a step further and reference 2021 Padres and 2023 Padres as examples of not great teams that are well supported. And I think SDFC, regardless of whether they win or lose this year, will be really well supported. Now, does it help to win? Yeah, of course. Everyone likes a winner. But I think that San Diego has proven that they care. I mean, kind of win or lose in this era, especially downtown at Petco Park. I mean, it's been incredible all decade long. All right, so Annie Heilbrunn will join us coming up at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen at 5:30. But right now, let's get to this.
It's time for The Wrap, presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Who's the 2026 favorite to win the World Baseball Classic?
Yeah, with that about to get underway.
It's probably a little too early, but listen to the Dominican lineup.
Give it to me.
Now, this is just projected lineup. This is not the actual lineup.
I haven't written in the lineup card yet.
No. Fernando Tatis Jr., Juan Soto, Jose Ramirez, Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, Julio Rodriguez, Ellie De La Cruz, Ketel Marte. I don't know their catcher would be Gary Sanchez, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Their bench, Marcelo Zuna, Rafi Devers, Willie Adames, O'Neal Cruz, Jeremy Pena.
Give me their staff.
Luis Castillo, Framber Valdez, Sandy Alcantara, Freddie Peralta, Reynaldo Lopez.
Can they make it out of pool play with that team? Can they go 2-1 in the first round?
Oh my gosh.
So they're loaded.
They are loaded. I guess I would pick them.
Yeah, we did this in 23 though.
But Team Japan with Shohei and Yamamoto.
I'm going to lean towards pitching.
It just, I still, they're the champs. So if you want to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. I'd probably take Japan.
I would either take Japan or the U.S. I feel like the U.S. is probably due. It'll be contested, the championship in the U.S. So maybe I would give like a slight edge to Team USA. But yeah, probably Japan or the U.S. But that Dominican team, I mean, maybe they can slug their way to a WBC title in 2026. Next question.
Who's going to win tonight's epic showdown between the Magic and the Hawks?
It's about to tip off.
4:30.
Where's this game being played? Orlando?
I believe so, yes.
Where's this game being played?
I'll take the Magic.
Take the Magic tonight.
Yeah.
Alan liked the Magic. And look at this. The Magic have an 9-foot person on their team.
Oh, they're winning this game.
Yeah.
We have a 9-foot person on their team.
He's on stilts, actually. It's like a hype guy.
Will they sell out tonight in Orlando?
That's a great question. Let's see if tickets are available at StubHub or how much they are.
Look it up.
I'll take the Magic at home. I bet you can get in for what? $60, right?
I'm going to say 75.
Come on. No way it's that expensive. Orlando Magic tonight. Let's see. Well, it's about to tip off. You're right, $100 to get in.
All right. $100. There we go.
All right. So we both like the Magic.
Yeah, we like the Magic.
Okay, next question.
Who's going to win tonight's other epic play-in showdown between the Grizzlies and, Jim's Warriors?
The Warriors don't win.
You're going to cry.
I'll be extremely mad.
Are you going to go back to the Kings?
No, because they'll probably play the Kings in the next matchup on Friday. Can't lose. Both teams win. The Kings have played the Warriors the last couple postseasons, by the way.
Right.
Last year's the play-in. They just destroyed them. And then previous year was in the first round when it went to 7 and Steph had that incredible game 7 on the road, 50-something points. Look, the Warriors better win tonight, just for my mental sake. I crashed out the other night when they lost to the Spurs on Harrison Barnes game-winning 3.
Like at the buzzer, right?
And I was texting my brother. It was not fun, not pretty.
What do you mean you crashed out? You were just you're like, I'm done with this team.
F this team. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. I was very upset.
Was it even worse because he used to play for you?
Yeah.
Your brother?
No,
Harrison Barnes.
My brother.
Warriors -7 tonight.
That's
so they need to win this
big
game.
number,
They need to win this
dude.
game.
That's a big number.
-312 money line. They have to win this
How many
game.
grenades is Ja going to throw in the crowd tonight?
I mean,
Over
hopefully
under
they're just-
5.5.
Hopefully they're not real. Yeah.
For your sake, you better hope not a lot.
I know.
They're winning.
Of the two matchups, it's by far the most compelling. You have stars everywhere with Steph and Ja. I mean, again, the Hawks have Trae Young, but Magic Hawks to me is nowhere near as compelling as Grizzlies Warriors.
Paolo Banchero doesn't really do it for me. I'm sorry.
Next question.
What are your guys' expectations for the Aztec basketball team next season?
Not that high. At least Final Four.
Yeah, just Final Four.
Yeah, just Final Four in Indy next year. My expectation for this team, seriously, on a serious note, is competing for a Mountain West Conference regular season title, competing and not only, being in the mix, winning it, and then being a top 5 to 6 seed in the tournament next year.
Yeah, I think they'll be preseason favorites of the Mountain West, assuming they can keep this roster intact. I think the expectations for the fan base will be to win games in the NCAA tournament, whatever that looks like, right? Is it a game? Is it 2 games? I think the expectation probably with the fan base, and this is a lot easier said than done, will be to, if, again, this roster's held together, maybe reach another Sweet 16. It would be the 3rd time in 4 years, which is kind of insane.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
What people would be expecting. Not that that's easy to accomplish, but that might be the expectation heading into the year.
Well, depends how they play. If halfway through the season they're ranked in the top 25, they're first place in the Mountain West Conference, and you're like, do we have something special here?
Right.
They win. If they win the Mountain West Conference regular season title, say they also win the conference tournament in Vegas. Say they show well in the Players Era tournament in Las Vegas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, the expectations are going to be at minimum Sweet 16.
Yeah, it just like we've covered this team for a long time, and it feels like they have the pieces that are necessary to be like a national heavyweight, so to speak, like to be in the conversation based on what they've put together. Now you got to do it on floor, to your point, and it's hard. There's less margin in the Mount West, like it's not the SEC, so when you lose games, it can pull you down.
I wish that next year was the start of the Pac-12,
right?
Where you
have to
play
last year.
You play Gonzaga 2 times. You play Oregon State. You cut out the fat in the conference. You're not playing San Jose State. You're not playing Air Force. You're not playing Wyoming.
Yeah.
Like
there's no winning really in there when you play Air Force twice.
Fresno State. Well, Fresno State was in the Pac-12,
but you're right. But yeah, the future with Gonzaga, San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, like these are teams that get to NCAA tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. It feels like you're getting rid of some of these programs that have kind of weighed down your metrics.
Yeah.
And could keep you on the outside.
Yep. And the basketball league in the new Pac-12 is going to be fascinating to watch.
Shoot, Utah State in the basketball league. All they do is get to NCAA tournaments.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, every single year you look up and Utah State is in the conversation.
Now there won't be any New Mexico's or UNLV matchups anymore, like on a regular basis.
Yeah, which, you know what, to be honest with you, I think they might keep UNLV in the rotation. I'm just speaking out of turn. I could see that because you recruit Las Vegas. Does anyone really need to play games against New Mexico? They're good. Do you really want to go to the Pit and play New Mexico? What is the advantage of going to the Pit and playing New Mexico? It's hard.
Losing.
Yeah, it's hard to play them. So I'm kind of okay with that going by the wayside. Maybe they'll meet up somewhere in preseason non-conference tournaments or in the NCAA tournament. But no, I think all things considered, you're right. Once you get to the Pac-12, you got a chance to only enhance your basketball brand because of who you're going to be playing year in and year out.
And you could consistently, year in and year out, start seasons with 2 teams every year inside the top 25 to start seasons with Gonzaga and, teams like San Diego State or Colorado State, Utah State. You could have a really good conference here coming up in the near future. And I think that's what people are envisioning.
And if they can still pull off, we don't know what the conference is going to look like. Can they pull off St. Mary's? They've been a perennial top 25.
Put them in there. Let's go.
Again, I don't know how this is all going to shake out. I think we'll get answers sooner rather than later. We had John Wilner on last week. He said by mid-May, they'll know their media partners and the expansion candidates. So I think we're just within a couple of weeks of having more answers on the future of the Pac-12. We have injury updates within the last 2 minutes from the San Diego Padres that we will share with you on the other side. We'll give away this 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place coming up in about 30 minutes. And Annie Heilbrunn from the UT will join us to talk about the Padres coming up at 5 p.m. Alex Cohen on the Cubs at 5:30. But the latest on the health of the Padres, looking to get to 15-3 overall. The win tonight. Stay with us here on Jon and Jim. All right, so interest rates have plummeted, and it is time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer. If you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen, and they can do it in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity. Get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. The average homeowner can cut their monthly bills by $1,000. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there is a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks, and most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at Loan Pronto at loanpronto.com, or call now 619-207-4336, or again, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. All right, I can officially vouch for the all-new iHeart Radio app. I somehow have access to it. It just prompted me when I opened it. It's like, would you like to set your presets? Like, I've been asking you of this. It's like if you're in a relationship and your significant other's like, finally you proposed? I've been waiting for so long. That's what happened with me in the app. I've been waiting for the app to ask me for my presets. Yeah. And it asked me today, and I put San Diego Sports 760 as my first preset.
And if you out there have not put San Diego Sports 760 in your presets as your number one, what are you doing? Do it right now. The all-new iHeart Radio app. I'm using the Jon technique. It's all new for at least 1 year.
1 year.
So download the iHeart Radio app. Update it if you haven't updated it already. Put us in your presets. San Diego Sports 760. Also search out Jon and Jim, our podcast as well. I'll put that in your presets. But most importantly, San Diego Sports 760. Have to be in your presets. It's a non-negotiable. Sorry, guys.
Non-negotiable. Please put us in your presets on the iHeart Radio app. Here are updates on the Padres' health from AJ Cassavell, MLB.com.
They're all still alive?
There are a number of updates. Yes, everyone, by and large, is fine, but some players have been out, like Jackson Merrill. Here's the update on Merrill, who, according to Kevin, is not expected to be activated when eligible this weekend in Houston. AJ writes, Merrill is slowly ramping up to baseball activity. He was on the field for early batting practice and did some bunting. Bunting. Wow. No running yet from Merrill. He also writes, Yu Darvish played catch off the mound. No date is set for his first true bullpen. So he still hasn't thrown a bullpen. He still hasn't thrown on a mound, just off it. And then Brian Hoeing, he threw a bullpen today, his first with breaking pitches. Hoeing has been out since the start of the season, figures to be a key piece in their bullpen at some point here in 2025. Despite all of this, I mean, these are huge pieces. Yu Darvish and Jackson Merrill specifically, despite all of this, the Padres are enjoying the best start in baseball.
Remember when Darvish just had a little ouchie?
Yes, I do. It was in March. Yeah, it was good day to day, or he's going to skip the bullpen.
It's fine.
Right. And now, I mean, what is even realistic for him to start a game in the major leagues this year?
In a month?
Yeah, probably somewhere in May.
He's going to take ramp up time. He's then going to have to go on a rehab assignment. He's then going to have to get clearance from all the doctors. And then that, it feels like at least a month, maybe more. Right?
It'll be a while.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing is everything's good.
Everything's good. Yeah.
So it's just like you're adding to something that's good, hopefully, when he returns, as opposed to pressing to get him back. Merrill, same thing. If it takes an extra 3 to 7 days, let's say, I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
So that's one additional week. I mean, what does that really mean? Nothing. What's the grand impact on having him out for another series?
I'd much rather have him miss another week than push it and then miss a month instead. Take your time. He is so important to this team. Darvish is important too. It also kind of feels like, a little bit of not a luxury, but kind of a luxury. They're pitching so well right now. Kyle Hart, Randy Vasquez, they have done well in the back of their rotation. How long will that last for? Again, yet to be seen. But with Pivetta and King and Cease at the front of your rotation, that's a solid 1, 2, 3. And as long as Darvish can be healthy, like towards the end of the year, hopefully getting his team to the postseason, then you're cooking with the good stuff.
You're cooking with good things. And then there's Jake Cronenworth, who we expect to be a pretty lengthy absence.
I would expect so.
With the cracked non-displaced
rib fracture.
That doesn't sound like, hey, I'll be back in a week.
No.
So you got significant injuries, but again, the Jose Iglesiases of the world have picked up the slack. And shoot, tonight Jason Hayward is in center field. They had Brandon Lockridge. He went on the IL.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. Does that continue? Nobody knows. Nobody knows if that. Like, they're going on the road coming up, and they're going to Houston. So, like, there'll be real challenges coming up. I mean, nobody thinks this is just how it's going to be all year. I don't care who you have. It's not going to be like this all year.
What do you mean, John? They're not going to win 130 games?
134 and 28.
I mean, 134 and 28's on the table.
Where's the road trip go? Houston and where?
Houston, Detroit.
They've had some
fairly
odd. Aren't these odd trips? Like Cubs to Sacramento, Houston to Detroit. Kind of odd.
I was right. Trips. Houston, Detroit, come home. The homecoming of Ha-Seong Kim, even though he's injured. Tampa for 3.
Read the whole schedule.
Giants for 2 to end the month.
Okay, that's enough. But the reason I say that, so like Houston, slow start. They're 7-9. Detroit's 10-6. But that's not easy, I don't think. That's not an easy trip.
You could face, like I've mentioned, Framber Valdez and Tariq Skubal in that road trip there.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun.
No, not at all.
Both lefties. Both tough lefties.
But again, with all this
struggle against lefties,
with all the equity, it's like if you win this series, which means 1-1 in the next 2 games, you get out of here at, that would be 15-4.
1-1.
I know they're 11-0 at home.
John, they're undefeated at home.
Okay, let's say you get out of here 2-0 at home, but even 1-1, even if the worst possible scenario played out,
worst possible,
they were outscored by someone at Petco Park. That means the other team were to win.
There's an actual bottom of the ninth at Petco.
Win the other team.
Look, if I'm a fan, I'm calling up Group Dog and be like, dude,
give me money back.
I've gone to all 11 games and there has not been one bottom of the ninth yet. I deserve some of my money back.
Yeah, exactly. But if they do get out of here at 15-4 or better, then again, we said this last night, you don't have to be that good on the road. If you're going to win 50-something games at home, which they very well could with an 11-0 start, then you could tread water on the road and walk into the postseason.
Oh, 100%. You can go 41-41 on the road. If you win 52 games at home, you're 93 wins again.
Right. And you would walk into the postseason.
I don't think they're going to go 41-41 on the road.
No, because they're only going to play 81 games.
Sorry, 41-40.
Right.
Did I say 41-41?
The same idea.
Yeah, my point is if they go 500 on the road and win 52 games at home, 90-something wins, low 90s.
I might take the over on 52 wins at home right now. I know. We're in it right now. It seems so easy.
When you start 11-0.
Yeah, now they got to go 41-29. to get to 52 wins at home. That doesn't sound that crazy. 41-29 to get to 52 home wins.
Doesn't sound crazy at all.
Can they get to 81 home wins is the real question.
That's a very good question. We'll see, John.
You like yelled at me when I said, what if they split the next two games?
Whoa, what are you doing?
They're facing two lefties, right? They're facing a really good one tonight.
Yep.
In Shota Imanaga.
Very good lefty.
The Cubs are 2-2 against the Padres this year. The Cubs led late. Yes, late enough. Their bullpen's been awful. I thought they were done in by good fortune by the Padres, by the way, taking advantage of opportunities, but the Cubs led in that game 3-1.
Now, if they lose tonight, are we trading everybody tomorrow?
It's because Tatis committed to this WBC team. Is his mind more on Team Dominican Republic than it is the Padres? That's the lead tomorrow.
I think that is a good lead.
Let's hear from Mike Shildt. He has spoken with the media pregame on tonight's game, also the impact of Jackie Robinson Day. So you'll hear from Mike Shildt on the other side. We'll give away Sesame Place tickets coming up in about 15 or 20 minutes at 4:40 or 4:45. We have a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place. Also, Annie Heilbrunn from the UT back with us on Jon and Jim coming up at 5 p.m. We are here until 6. Stay with us, Jon and Jim.
This update is brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass Game 2. Padres Cubs tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. The Padres win tonight. They will officially have the best start in franchise history. They've already matched it with a 14-3 record. NBA play-in tournament gets underway moments from now in Orlando as the Hawks take on the Magic, and then Warriors Grizzlies at 7 p.m. tonight. And Aztecs basketball news, another transfer has come in via the portal. This time, shooting guard Latrell Davis from San Jose State. He averaged 11 points last year. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. One pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way for exploring arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
All right, we have Sesame Place tickets we'll give away in about 10 minutes. We'll let you know how to win those tickets in about 10 minutes. So be listening for that. A 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place here in San Diego. Annie Heilbrunn at 5. Alex Cohen, Cubs Television at 5:30. Mike Shildt has spoken with the media today, Jim.
You act like that's a surprise.
No, he doesn't.
Speaks to the media every day.
Right. Now, I don't know what he says, but he does start this with commenting on the impact of Jackie Robinson and Jackie Robinson Day. So let's hear from Mike Shildt pregame as the Padres get ready for the Cubs.
Yeah, happy Jackie Robinson Day. It means a lot, actually. I'm glad the Major League Baseball celebrates this day rightfully. I'm glad this number is retired permanently. You know, the one thing that many I love about the game is that it's just a beautiful game. And it's you know, it's always historically been America's game, but quite frankly, now it's more of an international game, which I love because the game is so wonderful. But specifically, the game is fantastic because it really doesn't discriminate. It only cares if you can play it. And I just appreciate the fact that we're honoring a great man who had a lot of courage to stand up for a lot of hard things at a time where people weren't as open-minded about, you know, equality. So it's a special day.
I've heard rumors, too, that there's some kids down in the college levels that are starting to wear number 42, and kind of a symbol of the influence that Major League Baseball can have on the younger generation as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a platform, whether it's Major League Baseball, us with the Padres, you know, we are blessed to have an opportunity and an obligation, quite frankly, to be good stewards of not only the game, but represent ourselves in a manner that, you know, people want to emulate because they likely are one way or the other.
Randy Vasquez going for you. How important has he been in terms of the outings that he's put together, not only in terms of helping to win games, taking the pressure off the bullpen? It looks like he's been throwing the ball really well.
Yeah, Randy's been good. You know, he's done a nice job. He's been, you know, as dependable as anybody on our staff as far as being able to, A, give us a chance to win, and B, to your point, being able to get quality innings and be able to make sure the bullpen's in a good place. So Randy's doing great.
Facing Imanaga, he's got that sneaky fastball up in the zone. Does it help that you guys maybe seen him not that long ago to try to get on top of that?
I think it helps. Yeah, there's some familiarity with him, you know, recently. And, you know, pitching's usually ahead of hitting in spring training. Pitching usually has an edge over hitters initially. The longer an at bat goes, you know, man, he had 11 pitch at bat last night. The more times you get to see the other pitchers and the more opportunities you get to have better swings. So, you know, he's a good pitcher, and we're excited to compete against him tonight.
Mike, Adrian Morejon gets out of that jam yesterday. He's off to a really nice start this season, coming off a really good year in 2024. What do you make of the way Adrian's developed over the course of the past couple of years?
Yeah, really proud of Adrian. He's really taken those next steps. I mean, the talent, clearly he's got a nice arm. He's got multiple pitches. He's got a feel for spin. But he's also now really dedicated himself and put a lot of time, energy into the competition standpoint, the consistency standpoint. You know, you're going to pitch high leverage hitting for everybody. But he proved last night that, you know, he gets in a little bit of trouble early on in a close game, especially after we've scored. And you know, he comes in and could easily, you know, gotten away from him a little bit. But no, he was able to, you know, make sure mentally and his stuff matched, and he went out and made a lot of quality pitches and was able to keep up, you know, keep the lead, keep it where it was. So he just done a great job for us. He's a big part of our club.
Jason in center today. How valuable is it to have a guy like him who can play pretty much anywhere in the outfield and has done it as much as he has?
Yeah, very valuable. Listen, I thought Wadey wouldn't challenge a lot, but we trust him out there, and we'll trust him some more. But we look up, and of course they got a lefty today on the mound, and Gonzalez has been swinging the bat well, and want to create an opportunity for him. And you look up and you go, guys, there's Jason Heilbrunn sitting there who does have multiple Gold Gloves and has played a lot of center field. So last night after the game, when I told him, I said, I've seen it a lot of years on the other side. I'm ready to see it on this side. And a big smile to his face. So, veteran guy that knows how to play the position for sure.
What's the latest on Merrill and what he's doing progressing for?
He's getting to a point now where he can do some dribbling, which is not with the basketball, which is from where I've come from in North Carolina, what that would mean. But on the rehab side, he's doing some things that allows him to move around a little bit more. He's doing some stuff in the pool, a lot of good recovery, techniques that he's, as we would expect, doing very well and intently. And he's starting to do like a little bunting. He's doing some baseball activity in that regard to keep his, timing down with his eyes and work on some of his craft. And he's been able to progress to a little bit more strengthening.
Are you close to jogging, or is that slow?
I think he's getting closer. I want to put a time frame on it, but he's getting closer.
What is the latest on Darvish?
Darvish played catch off the mound yesterday. So he's getting to a point where he's going to throw some bullpens. Not quite there yet, but he's having more of aggressive catch play, and then he's getting on the mound and having some catch off the mound. So those are all trending in good spots. He's recovering well, so encouraging.
How about Brian Cohen, Mike?
How about him?
How about latest update on him?
Yep. Brian Hoeing threw a side today. He came in. I love the fact we had Sean Reynolds in the beginning of the homestand. Now we have, Hoeing in a good spot. Threw a side today. We just got there talking to him about his calendar. He's got a live in his future in Arizona, and then we'll progress it from there. But the good news about Brian, everything was coming out. He's recovering well. Strength is good from the medical staff. Ball's coming out, movement's good. So it was a very encouraging day.
What's to say about your bullpen that it's been as good as it's been with those two guys still on the way back?
Quite a bit. Brian Hoeing was a big part of our club's success last year. And, once we acquired him, filled a huge role in multiple roles, but was definitely able to come in and finish out that inning and grab the next inning in higher leverage situations, be a bridge guy to the back end guys. So us being able to do what we've done without him. Sean was a nice piece last year as well, finding his footing in the big leagues. So, it's a good group we have, and we're looking forward to getting those guys back and being ready when called upon.
There's one other update in here, by the way, that wasn't asked of Mike Shildt. It's on Leo DeVries, the promising prospect in the Padres organization, right? The international signee a couple of years ago. He has left a game today in the minor leagues in the second inning, and I think it actually may have come after, don't quote me on this, after a triple. Yeah, so
what's wrong with these hamstrings in this organization?
Exactly.
Right,
I was thinking that same thing. Now, maybe ultra precautionary, but Leo DeVries, who again has this bright future, has left a game in the minor leagues here today. So lots of injury updates. You heard Mike Shildt on the impact of Jackie Robinson and this day in general and the impact. But good to hear from Mike Shildt, who, again, Shildt, who's always positive, like a 14-3 start for Mike Shildt. It's the best possible scenario for him. He always wakes up and the sun is shining, and the sun's really shining right now with his team other than the injuries.
Everything's going right. And the credit that Mike Shildt gets for this start can't be
understated.
Thank you.
Or overstated.
Maybe
it's overstated.
I think it's overstated. Yeah. Can't be overstated. He is a guy that just says the things that the players gravitate towards. It might not be things that us in the media think is like, oh man, it's a great quote by Mike Shildt, even though there's a lot of great quotes by Mike Shildt, really. But what he says, man, the players listen, and he gets everybody on the right page. Everybody's on the same page, pulling the same rope. That was a big thing in 2023. I said it a lot on this show. That team just did not pull on that same rope. There were just multiple factions and cliques, and it just didn't work. the last year plus now, Mike Shildt has got all of these guys on the same page. And it shows what that does to a team when everybody is on the same page. And yes, you need good players, but they're all doing little things and they're all playing for each other. And that's the biggest point.
I mean, to your point, you have multiple managers with a similar core that experience some really trying times. I go back to 2021. That's Jace Tingler's era. You actually had that Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. thing play out. Like imagine that. I cannot imagine that right now. And that played out in public, and it happens with teams. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. But that was not a great look, certainly. And then to your point, 2023 was not a good look at all. Not just their overall win-loss record, but what they were saying about the team and how they were quitting on games, like that Juan Soto quote about a 2-game series in Seattle. And that just doesn't seem to be this organization right now under Mike Shildt. Like you're not going to see what happened in 2021, that Tatis Machado thing. You're not going to hear those quotes from 2023. I can't guarantee they're going to win this division or make a deep run or win 100 games, but I just don't see it happening under Mike Shildt.
Dude, a Mike Shildt-led baseball team, if a player on it said that we quit, he's making them go run like the bases for like hours after the game. I can't even imagine a Mike Shildt team having a player on it after the game say, yeah, we quit. Mike Shildt would like lose his mind.
Right. And by lose his mind, he would be like, I don't like that. I don't know what he would say, but
I think we would get the angry Mike Shildt.
Which typically happens when he has angst towards a reporter, and only happened a couple times last year.
Only a couple, but it was the first half and they were playing kind of average baseball, like the definition of average.
Right.
And then they just took off like a rocket ship. And now you're just like, guy pushes all the right buttons. He gets everybody in line. He has created a really good clubhouse culture. The players have bought in, which is very important, and they've produced, and everybody has their role. I think that also too is a big thing, is everybody knows their role. There's not one person on this team that thinks they're bigger than the team, that thinks that they are the top guy, or I should be this, or I should be that. Like everybody's playing under the, what role they are given. And it's
worked pretty well.
Perfectly so far.
Call right now if you want a free 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. All you need to do is call 877-767-4760, and you need to do it right now. Free 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. First 2 callers will be contestants for trivia, and one of you is winning a prize valued at hundreds of dollars. A free 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. Pick up the phone right now and call 877-767-4760. Annie Heilbrunn will join us at 5 p.m. right here on Jon and Jim. All right, looking forward to catching up with Annie Heilbrunn from the Union Tribune, back with us at 5 p.m., the number one friend on our show.
Well, it's to be determined.
We'll see if Darnay texts.
Because we're going to test that theory out.
Like, hey, Annie, you're our number one friend of the show, not Darnay.
Yeah. And we don't get a text from Darnay.
Then he's out.
You're out,
Sorry.
buddy.
Now, he's out until I text him and say, will you come on the show? Because we'll need
Right.
him.
Yeah. You're out until the next time we need you.
Correct.
And then you're back in.
It's a one-way street, Darnay.
You're back in.
And it's in our direction.
We control this narrative.
It works. Exactly. So Annie at 5, Alex Cohen back with us, Cubs TV voice at 5:30. Cubs Padres coming up at 5:30. It's been a kind of eventful show with the Padres trying to get to 12-0 at home, and Aztecs signing Latrell Davis from San Jose State.
Your app works now.
My iHeart app works.
They way to bury the lead.
Jim went viral on Twitter.
Jesus Christ is joining us in the chat.
You say that?
I can say it. It's right there. It's fine.
Okay. Playing tournament is underway. You should see the atmosphere tonight in Orlando. It's incredible.
It's amazing. Look at all the
no one
seats
ever
available.
10-10 Magic Hawks game underway. What happens? Winner is in the postseason. Loser can still be in the postseason. Is that right?
Yeah.
But the
Loser
winner's
plays
in.
the winner of the Bulls.
9-10 game.
Bulls in
Nets.
Nets or something.
Who and the Wizards who are 18-80.
Who's in the play-in game
You
for the
tell me.
East in the 9-10 matchup?
You tell me.
It's Bulls and somebody.
I know
Who?
it's
Who are the Bulls playing tomorrow?
the Heat.
Okay. I'm bored for that because the Heat have Keyshawn Johnson, Aztec for life.
Oh, you're on board. I thought you said, "Oh, I'm bored already."
No, I'm on board for that one. I'm on board for that one. I'll be watching the SoFi play-in tournament for the next couple of nights. Anyway, Annie Heilbrunn will
watch
join
a
us coming-
single minute.
I'm watching it right now.
This doesn't count.
What was the thing that happened once with Paulo Banchero when he was at a NASCAR race and they're like, who'd they say he was?
Who are you?
No, they called him by the wrong name. They're like, man, it's so great to have Vince Carter here. He's like, right? It was something ridiculous.
Hold on.
Look that up real quick.
Reporter calls
Paulo Banchero the wrong name. Google that. Who was it? It was definitely at a race. And who they think he was? It's like Trey Young or something.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's so ridiculous.
Martin
On national
Brundle.
TV?
Martin Brundle, a British F1 reporter.
Okay, British.
Confused Paulo Banchero with Patrick Mahomes at the Miami Grand Prix.
And didn't Banchero go along with it?
In 2022. He just didn't say
He's
anything.
like, yeah, thanks.
He's like, man,
He's
me
like,
and
nice
Travis.
season. He's like, thanks.
Thanks. I was in the Super Bowl. It was
Good.
great.
I love Andy Reid.
All right,
Yeah.
let's play.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants. We have Christian and we have Alejandro. Christian, you called in first, so you have your choice of Jon or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
I'll take Jim today.
Wow.
This is Alejandro, right?
Christian.
Oh, sorry.
You just took, was it Christian or Alejandro?
No, that was Christian.
Yeah, so you
an
just
idiot.
took Jim, and he doesn't even know you took him. All right, Christian and Jim, and Alejandro and John.
Alejandro is rethinking his decision here, but
It was
too
Christian's
late.
decision, you idiot.
Oh, you're right.
All right, Alejandro's with John. Christian is with Jim. I'll work on a new co-host by tomorrow for me.
It's gonna be weird when never mind.
You're not even here tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. All right, Brent, what is the question of the day?
Well, I don't think he's going to regret picking Jim today. The Warriors are in the play-in tournament tonight. Can you name any of the top 10 scorers in Warriors franchise history?
Whoa, a Jim layup.
Hey, Jim, can you probably name all 10?
Alejandro, you're up first. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, good guess.
No way. Yep. He's got to be number 1, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think he's number 1.
Yeah, he's number 1 by a lot.
You're so,
Wait.
yeah, you're an idiot.
This is like all-time total points?
Well,
Yeah.
as opposed to what?
Points
No,
per
just in
game?
July. Yeah, all time.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Christian
Steph is off the list now.
Christian, I'm sorry. What is your first guess?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain? Good
Man.
Good guess.
He was really good for that Golden State team, wasn't he?
They're the San Francisco Warriors.
He was with the Philadelphia Warriors.
These are
Sorry,
all-time
Philadelphia.
teams, sir.
Yes,
my
all time.
gosh.
Yes.
This is a train wreck. Alejandro,
All right.
you're up next. Lock in. What is your next guess? You'd have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Clay Thompson.
Clay
That's
Thompson.
a great guess. Yep.
Good job. All right, Christian, back to you. What is your second guess? You'd have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Can I do lifeline, please?
Rick Barry.
I'll take it.
There you go. Alejandro, you're up. Third and final guess. You'd have a lifeline, which is John. Looks like he knows the answer to this. What do you got?
Why?
I'm gonna go a little old school. Chris Mullin.
Chris
That's
Mullin.
a great guess.
My favorite Warrior.
Very good guess. Christian, to send this thing to overtime, you do not have a lifeline. So this is all up to you, buddy.
For the Warriors,
All time.
I can't even think of anyone else, man.
You can't think of anyone?
Anybody? There's not one name you can think of. Old school.
I mean, I could think of a bunch of names
Uh-huh.
recent, but they're not going to have that many points.
Yeah.
What about Tim Hardaway?
Tim Hardaway. Good guess. Good guess. No, it's over.
It's a good guess.
Yeah, that's a really good
How
guess.
dare you guess that? We're like, guess someone.
No.
And he guesses. No, it's a really good
It
guess.
wasn't like Harrison Barnes or something.
We're like Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Well, Draymond
All right.
Green's put up.
He's probably top 20.
They only have the top 10 posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who's on the list?
All right, Steph's number 1, Wilt's 2, Rick Barry and his underhand free throw shooting is number 3. Was it Paul? Was it Arzin? Is that how you say it, Jim?
Arizin, right?
Arzin?
Is,
Okay.
is Al Addles on this list?
No.
Okay.
You call yourself a Warriors
Who
fan.
else is on the list?
Then Chris Mullin was 5, Klay Thompson 6, Nate Thurman was 7, Jeff Mullins was 8, Purvis Short was number 9, and Neil Johnston was 10.
Is Jonathan Kuminga on this list?
No, he's benched.
Not yet.
No.
Who else is part of the Mullen Hardaway era?
Mitch Richmond.
Mitch Richmond, yes, who I'm thinking
Run
of.
TMC.
Yeah.
Tim
All right.
Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin.
Alejandro, you are going to Sesame Place.
What a segment.
A 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place now through April 20th. Experience a hoppin' good time at Elmo's Egg Extravaganza. Exciting rides, move and groove to the Sesame Street Party Parade, plus meet the Easter Bunny and your
What?
favorite furry friends dressed in their Easter best now through April 20th. Visit SesamePlaceSanDiego.com for more.
I want to go.
I've told you, you need to go to Sesame Place alone one day.
To wear a
Just
hoodie.
set up shop and
Walk around with my
meet the
sunglasses
bunny.
on. Like, where's the bunny at?
Hug all the furry Elmo friends.
Come here, Elmo.
So you've never been to Sesame Place?
Why would I go to Sesame?
I don't know. Do you know people with children?
You've been to Legoland.
Good point.
But
What's the difference? One has Sesame characters. The other has Legos. One's more of a water park. Sesame Place has a lot of water rides.
Okay. Legos are for everybody, John.
So are Sesame characters.
I don't know anybody in their 30s, 20s, 40s, 50s, whatever, that like Elmo, unless you're 5.
Unless you have a 5-year-old.
Right.
Do you remember that toy that was like the Tickle Me Elmo,
Tickle Me Elmos?
Christmas toy over the years? You
Tickle
like
Me
couldn't
Elmo.
get them. They
Yeah.
were like sold out everywhere for months.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was crazy.
All right, so get to Sesame Place if you have children that are young.
Now, is the Elmo there ticklish?
I don't know. I've never tickled. I'm not going to go up to the actor, the Elmo character, and start tickling him. You weirdo.
Let me tickle you.
That's super weird. But I've been there with Jones. It's a terrific place. It really is. All right. Anyway, Eddie Heilbrunn from the UT on the other side. We're getting you ready for Padres and Cubs. Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network, calls Cubs games. Will join us at 5:30. Final hour of Jon and Jim with Eddie Heilbrunn next.
This update's brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass. Padres Cubs game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shota Imanaga for the Cubbies. If the Padres win tonight, they will officially eclipse the best start in franchise history. The best start is right now 14-3, tied with the 1998 team. Moving over to Aztec basketball, they picked up another player in the transfer portal today. Former San Jose State guard Latrell Davis. He averaged 11 points for the Spartans last year. And the NBA play-in tournament is underway. Orlando right now leads the Hawks 25-15 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter there. The nightcap, Warriors and Grizzlies at 7 p.m. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. 1 pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way to explore arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
It's Jon and Jim to warm up that drive home.
The Padres, if they win tonight, will be the 4th team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home. End of sentence.
Wait. Say that again.
If they win tonight, the Padres will be the 4th team since 1900 to start 12-0 at home.
Okay.
Now, Tampa was 14-0 in 2023. That's the best ever.
And they did not win the World Series, obviously.
Correct. As we've said,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Now, time for Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego, Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of Jon and Jim. It's hard to believe these hours go so quickly.
Add more hours, you can't.
Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network, he calls Cubs games, will join us at 5:30. But it's always our pleasure to welcome back friend of the show, Annie Heilbrunn from the UT. Now, Annie was listening last week when we said that like Darnay Tripp was the friend of the show. But I feel like Annie has surpassed Darnay because she texted us because she was listening to that segment. Darnay, we'll see if Darnay texts. I don't think he's listening right now. And if he doesn't text us about this, Annie has now moved into the top spot definitively in terms of friends of the show.
Congratulations, Annie.
So, congrats, Annie. I don't think Darnay's listening.
No.
Yeah, I feel like I should be number 1 on the power rankings, and by the way, I was looking through my Krause body and just trying to, find my wallet and listening to the show. And I heard that. And so, just opportunistic hearing there. But I think Darnay will understand when I surpass him.
Dude, I have to work with Jim every single day.
It's tough. Yeah.
Like all of the days, Monday through
feel
Friday.
bad for him, honestly.
Annie, let's get to the Padres. I mean, have we allowed this to truly sink in? We know it's only 17 games, but this start at home where they are literally undefeated and they're 11-0, and we'll see if they can continue that tonight. Like, do you have any words for this? Because you've covered the sport for a while, and this isn't something that happens every day.
No, it really does not happen every day. And the first homestand, you're thinking kind of like, okay, 7-0, that's cool, that's fun. But then for them to continue it, and although the Braves didn't get off to the best start, still, they've got good players on their team. The Guardians, good players on their team. So, they beat a team like the Rockies, but they also have been able to beat a team like the Cubs and the Guardians and the Braves. And so I think that you're looking at a Padres team that shows that some of this, as long as they're healthy, there's a possibility that they can kind of keep up this way of playing baseball, right? I mean, it's very opportunistic baseball, taking advantage of what the opponent gives you, being aggressive, base running, errors, doing it in team ways like sack bunts, sack flies, just kind of doing whatever they need to do. But you can tell when they have that one inning where, especially even if they're behind or they're tied or there's no score, they'll just turn it on. They'll have that one inning where they really take advantage of whatever the opponent either made a mistake of doing or just kind of like a little lull in action there, So some of that, I feel like they can keep this going as long as they stay focused and stay healthy. And that's when it kind of gets how dangerous could this team be? On the flip side, though, Jon and Jim, it is 17 games and it is such a long season. And I know we all keep saying that, but it's true. There's so many teams that we look at the beginning of the season, and it's are they still going to be at that same place by the end of the season? But for this Padres team, you're seeing a lot of traits that you feel like they could keep doing as the season goes on.
Early. We've already bought our World Series tickets.
What are you talking about? Early, Annie?
Early.
17 games.
17 games.
This
Come
is
on.
the NFL. We're done.
We're literally in the postseason. They're the best team in football. And they play baseball.
I mean, good call. Good call.
We've talked about this the last couple of days, Annie. For Mike Shildt, the start of his year last year, it was a getting to know him process. The team was 50-50 at one point. You know, there was some weird press conferences like, what's up with this guy? But then this team kicked it into gear. We said that we think that he deserves a lot of credit for the last 2 months of the season, obviously, and then especially the start of this year. Where do you sit on giving the credit to Mike Shildt here for the start of their season?
I think you guys are onto something. Normally, I am in the camp of the manager matters, but not as much as people might think. And in this case, I think that he really came at a good time for this Padres team. They had just been really embarrassed by 2023. But even before that, I mean, Jace Tingler, they had, a second year, didn't go well. Bob Melvin, second year, didn't go well. They kind of just started to get this reputation of just things not exactly working out in that clubhouse and around the organization. As time goes by, they were pretty inconsistent. So we don't know how this year is going to turn out at the end of it. But what you can already see, which I think is impressive, is that they were able to take some of the traits from last year into this year. And normally that doesn't happen. It's like, as much as you want to say that will happen, it's really hard to do that, to continue to take 1 year into the next year. And that's really what they've been doing. And I feel like that's really a testament to Mike Shildt. It's also the fact that they've got a core that's bought in, and they've got so many of those players back, right, in their core. But really, Mike Shildt has given them like this whole us against the world mentality, and this whole, all his Shiltisms of like, take everything, give nothing away, and we put pressure on, we don't feel pressure. Like, they bought in, and 90% of this is just the player buying into the manager or the coach and believing it. Now, it helps that they're winning. I think when you have the second half like they had last year, obviously makes it a lot easier for them to buy in. And when you're getting off to a start like you have this year, it makes it a lot easier to buy in. So, when they're tested with the adversity, we'll see how things go. But I do think he deserves a lot of credit for just giving them some consistency and some guidance at a time when they just really seemed to need it. They weren't getting it in the clubhouse otherwise. And so, in their case, they needed a manager to come in and sort of instill that.
That is extremely well said. Annie Heilbrunn from the Union Tribune with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. It has been a complete joy to watch Fernando Tatis Jr. And we've said that before. I mean, when he's on the field, he's almost a one-of-one type player in Major League Baseball. But what we're seeing right now, like, is this the best of Fernando Tatis Jr., what we've watched here over the last couple of weeks?
I think it could be. I really do. I think definitely not putting a ceiling on him. I think that he could get even better. But here's what is standing out to me about him is obviously he's not chasing, right? I mean, he's being very selective in how he's hitting and what he's doing at the plate. Him and Manny both are doing that, which is a really good sign for them. And when they are obviously at their most dangerous, right? But then his demeanor off the field, like talking to him this year, I've talked to him obviously every season that he's been with the Padres, and there were the seasons when he was coming up as the rookie and really wanting to kind of prove himself and really let people know that he was serious and he's here and he's going to help the team. And that had like a different energy than like the suspension years and trying to work his way back from that and the injuries. He is at a place now where, at least early in the season, his energy is very much, I know what I can do. I know what I bring to the table. And now it's not really about going and proving it to everyone. It's just about going out there and executing, and it's like, it's this different energy that he has so far in the clubhouse. And when you talk to him and we see him on the field, it's almost like calmer. Like he's got this like calmer energy about him. And I think it's a really good sign. I mean, I think that it's a good sign that he didn't work as hard as he normally does in the off season. He still put his work in, but he took a step back. Like his way so far has been like almost, a bull in a china shop. He's going to like just go as hard as he can, as fast as he can all the time. And I feel like this past season and this past off season, he just took a step back and said, okay, I don't need to do that anymore. I know what I can do. And now I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to have, the ability to go execute it. So again, this has to last from the majority of the season. He's got to stay consistent with it. But the work that he did with his dad and the mechanical changes that they made, he widened his stance a little bit. He's going with a two-handed follow through now. Again, so there's just certain things that I think have helped him in terms of mechanics, but he took the leg kick away. But at the same time, I think it's a mental thing with him. I think it's helped him as far as his mental this past off season.
I've gotten a little bit of this on social media and on our show and text line is like, oh, they only beat the Rockies. It's the A's. The Braves suck this year. It's like, well, hold on. It's Major League Baseball. What they did against the Rockies this past weekend was like literally historic. So basically what I'm trying to say is 14-3, that's 14-3. But for people out there that might be kind of skeptical, I mean, what would you tell them? And as far as like, this, how real of a start this is, it feels pretty real to me, Annie.
Yeah, it feels pretty real to me too, especially since this is what they did the second half of last season. Like they're essentially on kind of the same pace that they were on the second half of last season, except for the postseason. Obviously, those 24 innings are the outlier here, But it's kind of scary to think about, in a good way. If they have a first half that's very similar to the second half, and they can keep it going. I mean, this is a team that could have a really good year. Now, that's great, get into the postseason and hopefully have a better year than they did last year. But the reason that I think that you got to look at it more than, okay, they beat the Rockies, the Braves still have good players. They aren't having the best start to the season, but they still have good players. They still have players that have playoff experience. They expect to be in the playoffs every year. The Guardians, I wouldn't sleep on them either. And then the Cubs are a good team. The Cubs just beat the Dodgers 16-0 over the weekend, and the Padres just took it to the Cubs last night. So that's not to say that like they're elevated over the Cubs and elevated over the Dodgers because they beat them for we know the Cubs took 2 out of 3 out of them from them in Chicago. But I do think that it's real in the sense of like they have been able to do it consistently. That's good. And they have been able to do it a number of different ways, but all of those ways are not all luck related. Like it's not just everything has kind of gone their way and they've, capitalized on it. They've kind of forced some stuff to go their way and then they've capitalized on it. And I think that's sort of creating your own luck, which is what you would want from a good team. Like that's what a good team will do. Instead of thinking, oh no, here we go again, the bad luck's coming. They do it the opposite direction. They think, oh no, here we go. Or oh, here we go again. The good luck is, here we go. We're going to keep doing what we're always doing. And we're going to be aggressive and we're going to put up runs. So I don't know that it's going to be like this all season long. I mean, will they lose to some inferior teams? Probably. Will they not win when they should? Probably. But at the same time, you see things especially in the small ball that they're playing that you feel like can be consistent throughout the season as long as they stay focused and they stay healthy. And that's the same with the pitching staff. I mean, the pitching staff's been somewhat inconsistent with the starting pitching, and I don't know that the bullpen is going to be this dominant all season long. But if they can stay like in this range or roll through the bad times and get back to the good times pretty quickly, you just have a recipe for a team that can be very opportunistic, very aggressive, and just kind of keep their foot on the gas pedal. Again, though, like you guys are saying, it's early. I mean, I guess there's a reason for cautious, skepticism. There always is, right? But it's been pretty good baseball, in my opinion, that we've seen so far.
It's been terrific. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT is with us. Final one from me, Annie. I mean, are you concerned with their health? That they've been dealing with injuries. How much of a concern is it?
I was a little concerned with the bullpen getting as many innings as they were when that starting rotation over the road trip wasn't going deep into games. But then you had that a little bit reset with Michael King doing what he did, and Pivetta having another good start, and so the bullpen's gotten a little bit of a break. So that's good because like the second week in, they were pitching the most innings in baseball or whatever. So you don't want to obviously see that trend going the whole season, but they were kind of able to course correct that. In terms of Merrill and Cronenworth, I think that what you're looking at here is okay, how there's been all that consternation about the role players like the Yuli Gurriels and the Jason Haywards, which is, in my opinion, it is valid, except that they're winning. And it's not that winning cures everything and you've got to overlook some of the missed production that you're getting. But I feel the same way with Cronenworth and Merrill being out. Like baseball is such a long season that you've got to take advantage of just when you're doing well and they're able to still win with these guys being out. That being the case, I don't think they're rushing anything. I think that they're like, hey, we're going to make sure that these guys are, fully good to go when they come back, especially a hamstring injury, which is, soft tissue and can flare up again at any moment if they don't give it enough time to heal. So I think there's a concern, but until we see them start to really lose because of it or start to see real big voids in the lineup because these guys are out or whatnot, I'm not that concerned. And I think that that's kind of their mentality as well. It's not that they're not looking ahead at what could be potential problems, because they're always going to do that. It's more like, okay, maybe we're getting a little away with a little something right now with the bottom of the lineup, or with, being able to overcome some of these injuries. But hey, that's a little bit, like I said, of like some of that luck being on their side, and they're going to roll with that as long as they can. So Merrill, a little bit, he's not running yet. It's a little bit concerning of like, how long will he be out? But hey, if this allows him to heal and then he's good to go, or he's able to, give you the rest of the season healthy, then you go ahead and you take this right now.
Annie, you're number 1 in our power rankings, even though I think the Padres are number 2 in the MLB power rankings.
Yeah, that's
outrageous. But you're number 1 in the Jon and Jim power rankings.
Who's number 1? Are the Dodgers still number 1?
It's like the Rockies. No,
it is the Dodgers. Yeah,
yeah, it's the Dodgers. Which
well, the second Shohei Ohtani hits a single. I mean, those power rankings shoot right up. So.
Oh my gosh, he does anything. They tweet walks. About it.
He's like, oh my gosh.
A single, a walk.
Right.
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium's hosted the Olympics. Move them up in the power rankings.
Yep, exactly.
Annie, thank you. We'll do it again soon. Enjoy tonight, and appreciate it as always.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Take care. See you next time.
Annie Heilbrunn from the UT.
Darnay wasn't listening. He didn't.
He's not listening. Darnay, did you hear that? Annie's number 1 in the power rankings on the show. All right, we'll react to our conversation with Annie. Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network. He calls Cubs games on TV. He'll preview tonight. Coming up at 5:30, Jon and Jim. San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances to win $1,000 every weekday with the Bonus Bucks giveaway. Every hour, 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Coming up, listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportsSD.com. Alex Cohen calls Cubs games on TV. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. They've had some moves here over the last 24 hours. Cubs have played the Padres well. Relatively speaking, they're 2-2 against the Padres this year. And Shota Imanaga tonight for Chicago in Game 2 here at Petco Park. We just had Annie Heilbrunn on the show. And she feels like we do, which is like part of you wants to go like fully all in. And part of you understands that these years are really, 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 really long.
Mhm.
And this one has just gotten underway. So it's like, how do you feel when you get off to a start like this? How are you supposed to feel?
Yeah. If this continues and they play at a very high clip, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just all not act like this is the first time this has happened before. And what I mean by that
Okay.
is, silly fan videos, fans did tattoos of like eventual World Series champion 2025 on their bodies.
So you're sending out that alert
Like
early.
I am saying that out very early on. Do not act like this is your first time here type of thing with, fandom out there. That's not do the that's what's in. That's not make murals of the Philly Fanatic getting stomped out by the Friar.
Right.
That's not put tattoos on our bodies that say 2025 World Series champions. That's not make cringy videos.
No Kershaw memes?
I never had a problem with that.
I did.
But
Yeah.
I'll put that fine
Yeah,
for you.
that's in the category.
That's in the category. No cringy memes.
Or like I saw someone respond on one of our videos. Like, I've seen enough of the Dodgers. They're not the same team.
Like, whoa,
it's a little early.
early.
Yes.
Little early.
It's
You can enjoy what's happening right now and have an absolute blast while not also acting like, this is the first time you've seen a baseball team win a bunch of baseball games.
retweet if this team has the best record in baseball, though.
You hear that, Fadden?
Dude, he's
Hear
gonna
that,
ride
Ben?
that until they
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
And man, he's getting retweets and likes out.
Free retweets and clicks, bro.
Retweet if your team has the best record in baseball.
Speaking of tweets,
have you reached it? So Jim had the best moment of his career yesterday.
it's not the best moment of my career.
What's better?
You're right. It's the best.
Jim tweeted about Kawhi Leonard. It went literally viral.
We're 47K away from 1 million.
And it's had 1 million views.
No, we're actually 47K away from 1 million.
It's had 1 million views, or will have 1 million views within 24 hours.
You know what? If this thing does not get 1 million views,
I hope it ends up at 999,999 views.
oh, dude,
And that's where it ends.
I'll be very mad. Actually, no, I don't really care. Whatever.
So, yeah, Alex Cohen will join us in a couple of minutes. And if they do it tonight, they're 12-0,
They do
becoming
it.
just the fourth team ever to start 12-0 at home since 1900. And maybe this is the stiffest home test, Jim.
Mhm.
Imanaga at home, a lefty with legit stuff against a good team. This might be their stiffest test of the year.
Look,
They did face Chris Sale.
I'm not going to overreact if they lose tonight, but
I
the
will.
season will be over.
Exactly.
I will want them to trade everybody starting on, I don't know, Thursday. They're off today.
Right.
Just reset. Just clean house.
I mean, in 4 starts, Imanaga's got a 2.7 in his career now. Going back to last year, he's 17-4 with a 2.88
Do you have his numbers against the Padres, John?
in his career. Is it 1 start or 2?
Well, he has at least 1 start. He might have multiple last year.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Oh.
He has faced the San Diego Padres in the major leagues. And when he's done that in
Just keep
2
going.
starts,
2 starts.
he's been good. How good, you ask? He's
Filling-
2-0 with a
filler.
1.88. 2-0 with a 1.88. 14 in the third innings, 11 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts.
Because I do remember a start last year where
1
he
walk,
was
12 strikeouts.
dominant.
Yeah, that was the one at Wrigley, right?
And Profar hit a game-tying home run like the second Imanaga got out of that game, I want to say.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. I
Remember
think
that?
that's exactly right. I do remember that game.
Yeah. And then obviously the home opener for the Cubbies, was it last week, I think? 2 weeks ago? Week and a half ago?
Yeah, that was the Friday game, the Friday day game
Yeah.
that he
so
pitched in.
week and a half ago,
Yep.
about.
Yep.
Yeah, I can already see it now. Padres lose a game, everyone's checked out. It was like, oh, I can't believe they didn't do it. I can't believe they didn't have their best start in franchise history. I'm just kidding.
I know you are, but yeah, at some point you kind of wonder the circumstance where it does. And I mean, Imanaga is obviously he's up there in terms of real tests across Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. They're not gonna.
Yeah, but I don't want it to happen now.
159.
But I want the start to be like even more historic.
I want them to get to Thursday, perfect 15-0 record. Or no, 14,
that wouldn't be the case.
Perfect 14-0 record.
Nope.
At home?
No. They have 2 games.
Oh,
they have 11 wins.
They're 11-0. 13-0, sorry.
From 15-0 to 14-0 to 30. We'll take 13-0 at home before they head to Houston.
Yeah, I mean, they could win on the off day. You're always, you never lose on an off day. Well, actually, here in San Diego, Padre off days are always adventurous.
True. But tonight is one of those nights where you mentioned it earlier, like, hey, maybe the crowd makes a difference against a good pitcher like Imanaga, where maybe you have an opportunity or two. Crowd gets into it, put some pressure on the Cubs starter.
Yeah.
That's impactful in some form or fashion.
Yeah, it's going to be another great crowd tonight. You win tonight, 15-3. You're like, well,
best start ever.
It's just, I can't. Covering this team is for as long as I have. I'm like 15-3, 14-3. They would have killed for those stretches back in the mid 2010s.
Not literally.
No,
but I get your point.
Figuratively, John.
Right.
It's like that's unheard of. I mean, the people that have been covering this team for forever, like Marty, as she's beside herself. She's like, "What is happening?"
I know.
It's like she's been in this town forever, born and raised, San Diegan. She's seen it all, and even
generations.
Even she's like, "What is this? What is happening right now?" That's like the feeling with this Padres team, and just keep riding that wave, man.
How many generations have the Caswells been here? On the other side, Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network. We'll preview tonight's Padres Cubs game. Stay with us on Jon.
Are you breaking some news? All right, this update is brought to you by Balboa Park Explorer Pass. We'll start with the Padres. Game 2 of their 3-game series against the Cubbies tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. NBA play-in tournament right now. Orlando is up big on the Hawks, 57-36 with 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Their winner moves on, and they are the 7 seed in the East. Warriors taking on the Grizzlies tonight, 7 p.m. in the Bay Area. And Aztec news of the day, another recruit, another transfer, Latrell Davis, transferring from San Jose State, guard for the Spartans last year, averaged 11 points. Spring into fun with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass, 1 pass to 16 museums and more in Balboa Park. The pass is a convenient and affordable way to explore arts, science, history, and culture with friends and family. Get yours today at buymyexplorer.com.
All right, Jim's Backpage coming up. We're about an hour out. Padres Cubs, game 2 of this 3-game series down at Petco, where the Padres have literally been perfect this year somehow. 11-0 at home, and that continued last night. That come from behind win against the Cubs in the opener. We have Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network, calling Cubs games on TV here in 2025. Alex was just with us a couple of weeks ago, and the Padres were in Chicago. He's back with us right now. So, Alex, appreciate it. And you're watching this all play out. The Cubs have played the Padres as well as anyone, 2-2 over the 4 games they've met this year. But just looking at what's going on right now with the Padres, specifically at home, I mean, isn't this kind of ridiculous? 11-0 to start their season at home. That's not something you say any year about any team, really.
Well, it also shows that the Padres have played a lot at home to start off the season. They've had a nice home field advantage. That being said, whenever you play 11 games at home and you don't lose any of those 11 games, means you're playing some pretty good baseball. What really sticks out to me is Fernando. I mean, he's one of the best players in baseball. He's swinging like one of the best players in baseball. He's playing like one of the best players in baseball. Yesterday, 2 home runs. And when you have just a central cog like that in your order, playing the field every day, part of the nucleus of your team over the next, decade, I think it's something really nice to have. So I've been really impressed with the way Fernando's played. Also Manny Machado. I mean, just even going back to the defensive play he made against the Cubs last Sunday at Wrigley Field. I mean, he saved a run going behind the bag at third and throwing out a runner at first. And if not for Nolan Arenado in the National League, I mean, Manny Machado would be talked about a lot more in terms of the elk of third baseman in baseball. I was talking about on the broadcast that he might be the most underappreciated player of our generation. So when you have 2 players like that in your order, I'm not saying that you would expect 11-0 at home in April, but it doesn't shock me that you guys are playing so well.
Oh, no, we expect 11-0, Alex.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. It's very realistic. I think you should hope that all of your teams go undefeated.
Absolutely. It's undefeated or bust pretty much here in San Diego. Alex, little shakeup today with the Cubs. You surprised by the option of top prospect Matt Shaw to AAA?
I'm not, just because there is a background for that. If you look at the Cubs, recent Cubs, former Cubs greats, Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, Ian Happ, even Kyle Tucker. I mean, he was optioned twice with the Astros, twice. In his first 72 at bats, Kyle Tucker hitting 141. So it's not like young players struggling is something that we don't see. But did I think that he was probably going to have a little bit longer of a leash than 68 plate appearances? Sure. But they want to get him straightened out. I mean, he's a first-round draft pick. He's a high-quality guy. He's a really talented player. And I think him going to AAA to get some things figured out, both mechanically and mentally at this point of the season, it's better doing this now than doing it in June and July. So with that, I probably agree with it.
Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network with us, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. What are the options here when it comes to Justin Steele? How are the Cubs planning to replace him?
Well, I think you look at the AAA level right now. Javier Baez just made his first major league rehab start. I mean, Javi was a guy over the last 2 years that has among the most innings pitched for a Cubs pitcher, and he can do a multitude of different things. Come out long man of the bullpen. He's actually been a back end of the bullpen guy, 7th, 8th inning guy, and he was also a guy last year. A sub 3.5 ERA as a starter. So You get Javier Assad back and healthy, that definitely helps. You have a former first-round draft pick at AAA in Jordan Wicks, who's getting stretched out as well. So I do think they have some reinforcements who are right now at AAA, whether it's a major league rehab or a guy pitching every 6 days at AAA, that could certainly help you out. When you look at the pitching market, obviously everybody talking about Sandy Alcantara for the Miami Marlins. Well, right now the Marlins are over 500, so they're probably not trading Sandy at this point. Max Meyer, another really good starting pitcher for the Marlins. And then you look at the Twin starters with Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez, guys that who could really help any rotation, and the Twins who have not been very shy about the fact that they need to shed payroll. I don't think that they're playing up to their capability right now, and if that continues, they might be looking to dump one or two of those starters. So I would think that any team looking for a starter would be in conversations with them, Cubs included.
What makes Shota Imanaga so difficult on opposing batters?
I think that the 92 looks like 96, just with the way, with how he delivers, how deceptive he is, the arm angle he throws at. I mean, you'll ask any hitter that you'll look up at the scoreboard, you'll see 91.6 or 92.5, and it looks like 95.5. The ball just jumps out of his arm. Also, the splitter is no joke. You know, when you think of Japanese pitchers and the type of splitters that have come over from Japan to the United States, I mean, you think of Roki Sasaki, you think of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you think of Yu Darvish. And I think that Shota being a left-handed pitcher, that pitch doesn't get talked about enough. It's devastating. So I think just the fastball splitter combination for him has been lethal since he's come to the big leagues.
Alex Cohen, Marquee Sports Network. So I'm looking at this, and Cubs starters have a 3.83. Cubs relievers have a 5.23 ERA. This played out a little bit last night. I thought that they were, I don't know, maybe a little singled to death or bad luck to a little bit there in the middle innings. But I think you talked about this with us a couple of weeks ago. I mean, the Cubs will be as good maybe as their bullpen is. What do you make of the Cubs bullpen and the state of it right now?
Well, I'm going to go with the positives. I think that Brett Keller's been pretty impressive. I mean, you saw last night him topping out at 99.5. When Brett Keller was a starter, I mean, he was throwing 93.5 and now 99.5, and everything sinks, it swings, and he's got a I think that he's a guy that is transforming himself into being part of the trust tree for the Cubs bullpen. So I think that Ryan Presley, 4 for 4 in saves so far, had a clean inning against the Dodgers. Porter Hodge looks like an 8th inning guy. Julian Merriweather looks like Julian Merriweather in 2023, and Brad Keller looks like a big piece. So those 4 in your bullpen look okay, but you need another 4. Like, you need another half. That you're halfway down, but you need the other half to come through. And so far, Eli Morgan goes on the injured list, didn't come through last night. Nate Pearson, inability to throw strikes, didn't come through. Tyson Miller hurt. Ryan Brazier hurt. So you need half of your bullpen to get figured out. And I think the difference right now between the Cubs and teams like the Padres and the Dodgers, when the offense isn't clicking, you can get saved by your pitching. And I think you look at the Padres bullpen, you have Robert Suarez at the back end of it. It must be so nice to see him come out in the 9th inning, whether it's a 1-run game, a 3-run game, save situation, and throw 2 pitches, a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, a 98-mile-per-hour or 89-mile-per-hour slider, and say, you know what, you hit it, you can rename it. And they can't, and people can't. So I think it's a benefit for the Padres to have a bullpen like that. And I think the Cubs need 2-3 other guys that could kind of factor into that back end of the bullpen, trust in trustworthy situations role.
What are your thoughts on just the overall Central Division right now? I mean, Cubs are in first place. Obviously, it's so early. It's first place. It's 15 games in the season. But I mean, looking at this, that the teams in the Central right now, Cubs stay healthy. It kind of feels like it's their division to lose.
I would agree with that. I think you look at the Brewers, I mean, and they have right now a pitching staff that they're trying to get back and healthy. I mean, Brandon Woodruff right now is down in Nashville, major league rehabber. Jackson Merrill is an absolute stud. So whenever you have one of those in your order, I mean, he changes games, he changes weeks, he changes months. So if Jackson Merrill can have an MVP caliber season, which he's playing with so far, I mean, I think the Brewers are a team that they're used to winning. And when you have good players still like that, and you have Brandon Woodruff coming off the injured list and hopefully being the Brandon Woodruff of old, or 70% of the Brandon Woodruff of old, you have an opportunity. So I think right now it's the Cubs and the Brewers. I think the Reds, once they get healthy, and you saw today they took Alexis Diaz off the injured list, Matt McClain off the injured list. So you get those guys back and healthy. Matt McClain's an all-star caliber middle infielder, and Alexis Diaz is your closer. So if they come back and do what they're supposed to do, I'm not ruling out the Reds yet. So I really think that they can swing it a little bit. I think that the Reds are dangerous. I think the Brewers have a culture of winning. And I think the best team on paper in the Central is the Chicago Cubs. So I think it's a 3-team race.
This should be a good game tonight. Again, the Padres are 11-0 at home. The Cubs a favorite at Petco behind Shota Imanaga, opposite Randy Vasquez. Alex, always enjoy it, my friend. Continued successes this year with the Cubs on television. And thanks for hopping on in San Diego, man.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Always appreciate it. Alex Cohen, who I mentioned 2 weeks ago, interned for me in the minor leagues. He now works for the Cubs. I work with you.
There's a lot of people out there that,
Like
that
that.
have worked with you that have gone on to way bigger and better things.
Correct. Than me.
Correct. Yeah.
That's right.
That is
That's right.
spot on, John. Like John Fanta.
You know, the Cubs are minus 155 tonight.
Minus 155 doesn't
get like heavy favorites.
Doesn't really surprise me, honestly.
Have you been watching? Well, again, they got guys out. They're facing the lefty. Imanaga's great.
Yeah.
He's had success against San Diego. It's based on starting pitching. That's what this is. It's
Now,
based on nothing else.
Yeah. This lineup against lefties so far early on in this season is in just a flux.
Mhm.
It's not a consistent lineup. It is we are trying to figure out what works best for us with what we have to work with, which is it's not the greatest in the world, but we're getting the jobs done. You know, like Jason Hayward's in center field tonight, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna say they lucked out because you hate to see Jake go down, but it forced their hand to play Jose Iglesias every day against lefties. I don't know if they're doing that if Jake's healthy.
Probably not.
You know, they view Jake as an everyday player. I, on the other hand, think they needed to lean more towards the platoon with Jake. Just because Jose Iglesias against lefties at 400 last year, you gotta try to see if he can do that again this season.
Yeah, lean into it. Padres against left-handed pitching 732 OPS this year, against right-handed pitching 811.
Yeah.
So they've been much better against right-handed pitching.
It's not a big difference though. It's not like they have like a 600 OPS against lefties and a 810 OPS against righties. I mean,
it's a difference. You're right. Maybe it's
is.
not massive, but it's a difference. And again, can it be exposed against a pitcher like Shota Imanaga? Maybe, but they've just had a knack.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to trust in the Padres for another night and see if it works out. All right. Jim's back page is on the other side here until 6. Jon and Jim. right, Jon and Jim. Till 6 p.m. Padres Cubs coming up in less than 1 hour. Back tomorrow at 2. Full reaction to the series because the Padres play tomorrow afternoon against the Cubs, wrapping up this homestand. Then on the road, Houston and Detroit await for San Diego coming up. So we'll see if tonight they get to 12-0 or not.
12-0 or the season's over. No,
correct.
No in between.
This is it. This is game 7.
This is for all the marbles, everybody.
This is what you play for. This feels like game 5 against the Dodgers last year.
Yep. You win, you continue to play, you lose, you still continue to play.
Exactly. It's early. It's early.
Yeah.
All right. Here until 6. Let's get to it.
All right, Jon, you know it's Tuesday, right? A couple things happening today. First up, just a quick reminder for everybody, 6 p.m., the finale of Daredevil premieres on Disney+. Me and Brent are both very excited about this. It's been a fantastic season, in my opinion, and the last episode set up the finale perfectly, and I'm hyped. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
What? I don't even know what the theme is, who the character is. I have no idea.
It's shocking.
Is it a motorcycle? Is it a real life thing or whatever? What's it called? Reality? What is it?
Go on. What do you think it is?
Daredevil.
Something with motorcycles, apparently.
Reality TV.
No, it's a Marvel show based off of a character named Daredevil.
You know, it's good enough that you should just assume everything is Marvel.
Right. Is it like Sonic?
I mean, they're both superheroes, but
it's closer to Sonic than it is a
bike.
Motorcycle.
Yeah.
What kind of show debuts at 6 p.m.?
What do you mean debuts?
It's East Coast. It's 9 on the East Coast, Jon.
I don't know.
The Last of Us just came out this past weekend. Oh my God. Jon's looking at me like I just figured out a math problem or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not watching.
It comes out at 6 p.m.
SoFi Playing tournament is on. And all you're talking about is Daredevil.
Who cares? The Magic are up by 30. Whatever.
You know the Hawks have been in this, I think, all 4 years.
Yes, it's like the Hawk Invitational.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only is today Daredevil finale day, that's the good part of today. What?
We're gonna segue to it's also Jackie Robinson Day.
No.
We're gonna segue this.
It's also tax day. Wah,
right.
wah.
Did you pay? You did.
Oh,
yeah,
I
we paid.
But if you're looking for some tax day deals out there,
what does that mean?
Here are some tax day deals.
Oh, okay.
All right. Burger King Royal Perks members.
Did you think he literally meant like deals on your taxes?
Yeah, exactly.
I wish.
Yeah.
Oh, if only. Royal Perk members at Burger King can get a cheeseburger for just 1 cent with a purchase of a $1 or more item through the app or the website.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Krispy Kreme. Buy a dozen original glazed or assorted donuts and get a second dozen original glazed for the price of state sales tax. I don't know how much the sales tax is here, but it's probably a lot.
It's 8 or 9%.
It's like sales tax. The second box is $45.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Shake Shack. From now until April 27th, foodies can get a free black truffle burger, black truffle shroom burger, or black truffle Parmesan fries with a purchase of at least $10.40 when they use code truffle tax online. Is $10.40
a deal?
No, I mean, what does that signify? I feel like that signifies some type of like tax thing.
1040?
1040.
I don't know. You know us. We're not good with this.
Hooters, certain appetizers, including mozzarella sticks, fried pickles, buffalo shrimp, are just $4.15. Get it?
It's $4.15.
$4.15 makes sense.
Like, hey, honey, we just completed our taxes. Let's head over to Hooters.
Yeah,
tonight.
wings are $4.15. We're broke, so that's all we can get. Yeah. White Castle. There's really no White Castle here, right? So I'll move on. Denny's. You can grab an original Grand Slam or All American Slam and get a second one for just $1. Dine-in only.
Okay.
This is available till May 9th, by the way. Round Table Pizza. Love me some Round Table Pizza. Very underrated, in my opinion. Use code RTP220 to get $7 off any large or extra large pizza from April 11th through April 17th.
Okay.
Should I keep going? BJ's. Save $10 off a $40 dine-in takeout delivery order with promo code 100FF40.
Is that it?
What do you want me to find some more deals for you, John?
This is only today.
This is only, well, some are more than just today, but some are on just today, like Burger King and Krispy Kreme. You know? So if you want to cheer up after you paid all your money on taxes, go to these places.
Taxes, though, are like double-edged because a lot of people get the refund and they use the refund on a day like today. And you're right, other people owe a lot.
Now, I am in the category of owes a lot, so not great.
I've only had to pay once my entire life.
Is that right?
Lucky.
And it wasn't my fault. Before they were iHeart and they were Clear Channel, they screwed something up on my taxes where they were supposed to have like I always get them confused, but it's supposed to be like a 0 where there was a 1 or one of those deals, and they screwed it up. So that was the only time I had to pay, and I was in a panic.
What if like every leap year they just said, you don't have to pay this year. Everyone gets a break.
It'd be great.
You know, they're collecting a good amount, are they not?
Oh, they're collecting a good amount.
Every time I do anything, whether I work
I pay
or
money.
I buy something,
that's a lot
it's
of money.
being taxed.
Everything's
so
taxed.
I feel like every 4th year should be off. It should be like a promo.
I like that.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2026. Everything's free.
Yes.
I love that. Every 4th year.
It's just a free for all.
I figured it free for all. Yeah, you can take anything you want from stores.
Perfect.
Everything's free.
What's that movie, Brent, where it's like they have 24 hours and they can commit any crime you want?
Daredevil.
Oh, The Purge.
The Purge, yeah. They just have the Purge every other year or every 4 years.
That's my idea.
Finally, Taco Bell is bringing back a fan favorite menu item with the highly anticipated return of its crispy chicken nuggets, available at participating locations beginning on April 24th. Customers can enjoy the nuggets a la carte or as a part of a combo meal, which includes seasoned fries and a medium beverage.
Has it really been gone long enough for us to miss them?
No.
You know, they just came out last year. It's not like the Apple empanada thing that like was gone for like 7 years and then they brought it back. It's like, oh no, we haven't had Taco Bell chicken nuggets in 4 months.
Now, I don't.
How did I survive?
I don't think I ever got the Taco Bell chicken.
I didn't.
nuggets.
They weren't around very long. They were around for like maybe a month, and then it was like they're gone.
My guess is they were not rated highly enough for them to keep it around, and they wanted to make some changes to them.
Well, they brought them back, so they must have been.
I mean, who's really going there for that?
I'm going there for
nobody. But,
tacos.
You know, if it's 2 a.m, I go through the drive-thru, I might be like, oh, they got chicken nuggets, and then I'll try them. But yeah, I'm not going to specifically be like, oh, I really got a hankering for chicken nuggets. Let's go to T-Bell.
If you're going to get chicken nuggets at a fast food restaurant, take out Chick-fil-A, take out Raising Cane's. It's got to be McDonald's, right?
Wendy's spicy nugs.
Okay, maybe I'm doing it wrong.
McDonald's is second, but Wendy's.
You're just not even doing it.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it.
I haven't eaten at a fast food restaurant since moving to San Diego.
Well, congratulations to you. Slow clap for John, everybody.
Did you hear that? Give me a Mickey D's deal.
I would hate you
if I got like all the I get every
you get a Burger King or a McDonald's deal or like a Chick-fil-A deal.
Hey guys,
it's John with Chick-fil-A. What?
Nothing like a quarter pounder this time of year. I don't even know what you say.
I'm here for the all lettuce Big Mac.
They're so tasty.
Yeah.
I love eating them. They're so yummy. I don't know.
If you ate it, you get sick.
Correct. All right, wrap-up show tonight. Back tomorrow at 2 p.m. recapping a Padres-Cubs series. Can they keep it going tonight against Shota Imanaga? Looking to get to 12-0 at home. If you missed anything, sportssd.com, iHeart Radio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. Back tomorrow at 2. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Keep it here. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.